Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. And as you see, I've got a mess behind me. This table computer needs to move, but it's finally working. Working as intended, anyway. What's that behind me? Anyway, excuse me. Felt like I got hit by a bicycle this morning, and I couldn't get up. Let me turn on the fan. It's quite warm in here. YouTube is complaining about the bit rate, but I don't know if that means it is actually having trouble or if it has any audio trouble. Let me check it. And I couldn't get up. Nah, it's working. So I had to VPN into my own network that I'm already on to get this thing to go live for some reason. I don't know why, because it's already inside the same network and it's flat. So I'll have to debug that. First it was Facebook. Facebook made me relink it yet again. And then everything looked good. And then, yeah, now we can't find a way out. It's like, so I'm VPN'd into the DNS server. And I set that as an exit node, and we're coming out through the DNS server, which is weak. And, you know what? It is complaining about weakness. Let's give it some more cores on the VPN server. And then see if that makes YouTube stop complaining. And then turn on the fan, as I originally said. It's hot in here. Home controller. Log into that particular host. And no, not that one. That one. It logged me into the table. The table's not currently running any machines. It will be soon enough. All right, so now resources. It's got 2 cores. Let's give it. You think 3 would be enough? Let's give it 3 cores. Probably should do 4, but I don't care. Fan, and then we'll see if YouTube is still complaining. There's the fan. Oh, yes. And back to YouTube. It is still complaining. Let's give it 4 cores. And I'll have to remember to go take them back, because this doesn't need all that power. Unlimited cores, it says. You know what? Let's do that. See what it does. It's only got 512 megs of RAM, though. It doesn't need that much to just relay a signal. Still complaining about the bit rate, though. 63, 45. And that's still way more than X even wants. So let's go over to X and see what it's doing. Hey, there's me. Click on it. And are we stuttering? I don't think we're stuttering. It looks pretty smooth to me. Okay, so this was part of the girls' Christmas gift. It's a 35-year-old kit of Hooked on Phonics. And Moto loves it. Apple. Okay, let's get on over to our collab view, presentation view, and invite and friends. Then we've got an article, and Anders got a ZV. He told us about it last week, and it's here. So we'll take a look at that picture. Let's see, where is? Oh, this window is sitting on top of what I want. There we go. Nope, that's not what I want. Come on. There you go. You can do it. Oh. Blank screen is not what you can do, yes. Alright, there we go. That's better. Alright, I see you guys. I don't see anything in the multi-chat as far as chat, so I don't know if chat's working or not, but I do see that there's a couple of you out there ready to go. And I hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Let's click on this. What are you doing, computer? Oh boy. Click on all this stuff. Come on. You can do it. Or not. Am I clicking too fast? I might be clicking too fast. Alright. I got the fan running. Let's see. I'm running slow this morning, aren't I? Alright, let's get that switched over. Now that we have it on screen, we're going to go to the presentation view. We're going to get the browser up. Oh, weird, I'm off screen. Is it still set up for the Mac? Or is this thing set up for 1080? We shall see. Where are the settings? Let's turn on window capture. Because if that's wrong, then we know. No, we don't want Sawyer on there. We want electric. Oops. Identity. Musk. SpaceX. Privacy error. Electric. Done. Yeah, that's not a 4K window, which means that we're not on a 4K scene for some reason. Which means it's a good thing I didn't change my window. We don't want to edit the window capture, we want to edit the canvas. I don't know how it changed. Because I wasn't in there. Let's see. Not a dual output. Although if we're doing dual output, that would explain why I did this. But from my understanding, dual output is 16 by 9 and 9 by 16. Which, no, I haven't enabled dual output. Okay, let's turn on the collab cam. Start it, copy, and then we will email that out real quick. Excuse me, sorry. I've got this little cough. I'll try and mute myself so I can catch it. I'm going to send out a new mail. Come on. I restarted the browser yesterday, but I guess I should have restarted the whole computer. Good evening from Stockholm. So Anders the chat is working for Anders. That's good. And we're going to show your car in a minute. And we're going to do. Let's see. I'm going to. Yep. And yep. And yep. And her. There we go. 29 December. Oh, you need a link, don't you? There you go. Send that off. And then we're going to go to this one. And we're going to go to... I don't like the way they implemented the encryption on the Messenger. Because my desktop app is broken. Alright, and let's just move this up to me so that way it doesn't beep and boop too much. I'm not even on my own list anymore. There we go. And then let's go back to this screen and figure out why we're not in 4K. And if there's anything I can do about it. Okay. So I see the sources. I can throw away the whole scene, which I don't want to do. Maybe this will gear. I think it gears for the mixer. It is for the mixer. Okay. Right click on the background. Oops. Let's right click on the that's projector sources. I don't want to mess with the sources or the projector. I want to change the. Let's go into settings and see if it let me do it while I'm online. Probably not. Output, advanced, bitrate 6000. That's why YouTube is complaining. Recording is going to be at full. Yes. Audio is decent. It's at 128. We've got a replay buffer that I don't know how to use. Video, I guess. There we go, video. Video is 4K. Scaled resolution, 4K. Canvas. Custom. That's our problem, probably the canvas. I don't want dual output. I just want my canvas to be 4K like it's supposed to be. Or can you tell me what it is? At least that way I know for next time. It feels like 1080. I will figure that out later. Let's shrink this up even more, I guess. That is one narrow window. It feels like a phone. I bet you that some of these sites will display us as a phone at this point. The VW ID4 finally has a fix for its recall, and I'm not sure which recall we're talking about. I'm gonna guess it's the one where the door handles open at speed, because that's the last one I remember that would garner headlines from around the world like this. Yes, Otto, how are you?
Mommy gave me a sticker.
Mommy gave you a sticker for what?
Mommy gave me a sticker.
Did you use the potty? Is that why she gave you a sticker? You didn't.
I don't.
You're the master manipulator, tricking her into giving you stickers. What are we doing?
I'm rowing.
You're rowing? Do I look like a rowing machine?
Yeah.
I do.
I'm rowing. I'm rowing here.
You're strong. Don't fall. Okay, so we're talking about the VW and how they have a fix for the ID4. They had a recall a couple weeks ago, and a couple months ago,
Okay.
and a couple days ago. You want a what?
Okay.
Why do you touch my work computer?
Okay.
Are you allowed to touch my work computer?
Okay. Okay.
You may gently close the lid.
What?
You heard me. Okay. I guess you want me to move my keyboard now. Don't bang on the sound. They can hear it. There's no filter.
One foot there. Yep.
Oh, okay.
One foot up there.
No, put it here. Put it on the floor. It's expensive.
Yeah.
All right. I must put my keyboard where I can't type on it. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, well, thank you, Marcus. High Voltage and Performance Racing Team has super chatted. Appreciate what you do. EV Love. Thank you. All right, but definitely don't color on my work computer. We cannot have that. I don't want to buy them a computer. Especially one like this. It's really crummy. All right, so. Well, the good thing about this is it means I don't have a mess on my desk in the scene for most of the show. But it does mean I have to pull a giraffe maneuver so you can see my face.
You.
It's me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is my work computer. So,
Daddy, you. I hide you.
well, you're not going to color me on my work computer.
And it's me.
It's you.
And it's mommy.
Oh?
And Papa and that's Papi.
Aw, isn't that cute? Me and Mommy and Grandpa and who else?
Grandma.
And Grandma? Oh, okay.
Hi.
Alright, so they have a solution for... It doesn't say yet.
Daddy, you play there.
Yes, it's my work computer. Alright, well, we don't need my ID cards. I need to be able to get into the computer.
Daddy.
Yes, baby. That is my earphones. They are now fully charged.
What?
Yeah.
Daddy, what doing, man?
What man?
Look.
No man on the screen yet?
What? What?
Look at these Volkswagen. You have one of these in your car collection, don't you? This one? It's the same color too. Where's your car like this?
Huh?
This one here. Look.
What?
You have a car like this in your collection, don't you? Small car, same color. Vroom vroom. She has mostly EVs in her Matchbox Hot Wheels collection. It's more than I ever did as a kid. Okay, so so if the sales are restarted soon, then it's definitely the door handle situation that we were talking about a few weeks ago. Maybe the background noise. Remember, there's no filter, so careful with the banging and the crinkling. So in September, it's been that long, Volkswagen identified a problem with the ID4s, which resulted in a recall of almost 100,000 vehicles. Apparently the door handles could leak and allow water into the circuit that controlled the handle, leading the doors to open unexpectedly. Now, allegedly, it could not happen at speed, but that doesn't sound right, otherwise they wouldn't have done a recall in such a fashion. Maybe not most of the time, but it sounds like that should happen some of the time for the way they reacted. Okay, let's see. There we go, I got the mute. And again. Okay, so... Oh wow, we got a lot of chats. Let's see real quick. We had Anders and Marcus. And Robert says hi. Hi, Robert. I see you sent me some messages, but this one hasn't let me check them yet. And let's see, Marcus says that's how you start them out right for the EV future. That's right, baby. You feel free to jump on if you want, Marcus. Where are we going, baby?
I drive.
You're driving?
I'm driving scene.
You're driving scene? All right. All right, can I have one finger so I can control the mouse, please?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so let's see if they say what they did to fix it, or if it is just... All right, put down my ID cards.
It's me.
It's not you.
I name her the tool.
Yes, your name is Monaco,
And I name her the.
but that says Kacey.
I name her the tell you. I name her the tell ring.
Yeah, you are Monaco Green. That's right. Very good. All right, but that card reader only holds one card at a time. If you need more cards, you have to get another reader. That's right. Okay, let's see. So 100,000 vehicles, the doors opened unexpectedly, and at the time, VW said that...
Dad!
What, you want down?
Dad!
Ow! Smack me in the face. What are you doing?
I heard it.
At the time, VW said the production halt could last until the beginning of next year.
My pizza.
So just about on schedule, a little bit early, and it resulted in about 200 workers being furloughed for the time being.
I guess you, Daddy. I guess you.
Me?
I guess you.
Why don't we get you a mouse that you can play with instead of crashing my desk
I want
mount?
my pizza.
Your computer? Oh, you want this keyboard here?
Yeah.
She has good taste in keyboards. There you go. But I need to use this mouse. Sorry, I come over here with this. Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, so you can plug it into your iPad or another computer, but not this one, because you'd be jamming on them keys.
I want to put.
No, you don't need to put it. Excuse me.
I put. I want back in.
It's got to plug into a computer, baby.
Huh?
It doesn't plug into itself. It plugs into a computer.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so 3 months later, the fix is ready. It took them 3 months to fix door handle. The only thing more embarrassing than this... No, baby, no. The only thing more embarrassing than this is how it took over almost a year for Toyota to figure out how to keep the wheels on the BZ4X. That's pretty bad. Especially since, they engineered it, tested it, and all of that, and then all of a sudden they couldn't keep the wheels on it. How do you get through testing if the wheels don't stay?
Mommy have like you.
Mommy has a mouse like me?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd she put it?
I can see my mouth gone.
Your mouse is gone.
Yeah. Where my mouth thinking?
That depends on where you put it. He said if you got it from Mommy, then who knows where you stole it from.
Give me.
Alright, so... Is that how I sound to you? You did? Okay, but stop making noise. So anyway, 3 months later, they've got the fix headed out to, and the cars are headed back out to the dealers from the factory in Germany and Tennessee. That's good. Sales started back this week. Dealers are applying the fix at some of their cars already. The dealer told us they've applied the fix to about 10% of their inventory so far. And that some cars have already been sold this week. That's good. Especially if some of those folks needed the tax credit, because as we know, it's in jeopardy. I wonder if I can bump this camera up a little bit so I don't need to do the giraffe neck thing. And then we could figure out why it's in 1080 later. That's not what I'm clicking on. It's clicking on the browser. Click on us. So, or us, I say me. So click on, not background, not HDMI. We're gonna click on the one with my name on it. I named it. And I'll bump it.
Bump it?
Yeah, I can bump it.
Okay.
I hit
Bump
shift
it.
and bump.
Daddy, I'll bump it.
You're bumping it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I can only move them one at a time? That's crazy. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, I need a shave. Looking like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. And who is Santa Claus?
Santa Claus.
An actor.
Anchor.
Yes. And what do we make believe in?
Baby.
Brings all the kids' toys in one night.
Okay, toy right now.
Yes. You're just repeating me. Okay. So I've bumped up my picture just a little bit so I don't have to crane my neck as bad. And now, let's see what Electric has to say for themselves about this. Alright, don't put those toys on my drink. That might be how I got this cut off. Alright, so Electric says, prior to the recall, ID4 sales have been down significantly for the year. Yeah, because somebody had floated the theory that... It's dirty. It's a dirty picture of your Uno deck. Somebody had floated the theory, the conspiracy theory, that, oh, whoa, don't call 911. Her arm had been brushing up on my watch, and the watch is locked. So the first thing the watch wanted to do was offer to make phone calls. But it's locked, so there's only really one number it's allowed to call. Anyway, so some folks said, that's still too low for me. Some folks have speculated that perhaps It's not clicking. Stop with the keyboard.
No,
We're not going to sing today. So some folks have speculated that perhaps this was not as hard to fix as they made it out to be, and that they just wanted to leave the line shut down to help with their ability to kind of manage their costs for how poorly the program had been doing. Baby, cool it down just a little bit, please. So anyway, so back to Electric's take. Despite a big update for the 2024 model year, which fixed some issues that owners had, added a bunch of big improvements, the model seemed not to have captured the imagination of the American public. Let's see. I hope this thing is reading the right microphone. Yes, it is. Okay. But I've been muting it, and nothing worse than hitting mute on the wrong microphone. I've done that several times. The model seemed not to capture the imagination of the American public, even though EV sales are... What? Even though EV sales are rising. The ID4 had experienced one of the highest drops in sales of any model. But this is puzzling, because the ID4 is a competent vehicle. Yeah, until the BZ4X came out, I called it the Camry of EVs, because it was slow, competent, it felt adequate, and it wasn't priced bad, and it wasn't all that fast, but it wasn't unworkable. So I called it the Camry of EVs. And then the BZ came out, and it's lower than that, so it still holds in my heart. I would still call that the Camry, and the BZ. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, I get it. All right, but the noise, baby.
What's the button noise?
That button is mute. Yes, that's right. That would stop the noise. It's for noise. That's for noise out, not for noise of the keyboard. All right, but you're right underneath the microphone right here, and so for some people who are sensitive to noise, that really hurts their ears. Especially if they're wearing earphones like these.
Where's my steering?
Your phone, you don't have. Well, you do have a phone. I haven't given it to you yet. Hers was free, so why not take it before the offer expires, right?
Come on.
Come on, what?
Come on.
Come on, where?
Come on. Come on.
All right, but don't smash those into your keyboard. Yeah, how do I know you're about to do that? Here, I'll move this out of your way, and you can play with them on the desk, but don't beat it on the desk either.
No. My paper.
Yes, that's you. Well, it's my keyboard that you use. All right, now I have room for the mouse.
I want keypad.
You want keyboards or watches?
Keypad.
Well, put the watches away. There you go.
What's that?
What's what? Those are stamps. Don't touch them. This is for when I send mail out. So I'm going to keep them over there. Okay, 01010 says hi. And Robert says, your free doorbell camera thinks that Bowtie is a human bobcat. How does that work? Whoa, don't jump on me, baby. Didn't I just say that my back hurt this morning? Ow! Alright, so let's see the top comment by Ed here. Ed says, I have a 24 ID4, and all I can say is the model years must have been truly awful, because I think it's outstanding EV all around, and I'm not sure what is lacking. Too pricey for sure, but I got around 10,000 off at the dealership. Yes. What?
This way.
This way what? Why are you pointing at stuff? What do you want?
Then my shirt. Yeah, my shirt.
Your show?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my show. It's called Kacey and Friends.
Then my show.
Right here, look. Let's chat with Kacey and Friends.
My show.
That's for sure.
Me.
Ah!
This one.
I'm not a trampoline.
Yeah, yeah, that's me. Yeah. One. Show this face.
There's spittle on my hand.
You. That's mine.
Yes, it is your spit. I gave it back. Oi!
We be enough. We be enough. Get up in the bed.
No, we're not jumping. Okay, so. Now we get down. Okay, bye-bye. Have fun. Love you.
Love you.
Oh, I love you too. Okay, there you go. Watch your head. Alright, let's get this keyboard out of the way. And get back the Mac keyboard. And we are underway. Alright, so we've talked a bit about VW. Let's see if we can't pull up X. Take a look at Andrews' car. And then move back on to the regularly scheduled program. Do I want to just load up regular X? Or do I want to wait for a tweet? I've got some tweets, so we're going to wait for a tweet because my X feed popping right now. It's a little wild. Alright, we're going to go here to... How did she do that? She turned my mouse down to like 3 DPI settings and didn't even touch it. Let's paste and go. What? No. Here. Paste and go. It put the URL inside the URL in the notebook, which isn't helpful. Excuse me. Alright. We're going to go to scroll. We talked a little bit about this on the Tesla Live show, and I pointed out also that there were some concerns with it. So Hyundai and Kia have unlocked their 20,000 superchargers in 2025 with the free NACS adapters. Their NACS adapter is not built by anyone that's been doing them before. We've got most of the ones out there are by Tesla, and then we've got some Electron units that Ford had custom and built, and then GM is using the Tesla ones as well, just like Ford is, and they're just getting off-the-shelf ones from elsewhere, and they're charging you $250 for it. And depending on which one you're looking at, that could be an okay deal, or it could be a substantial markup. Rivian, I believe, is exclusively giving out the Tesla ones. And sounded like somebody was knocking on my window, but I can see the whole window, and that's not the case. So Kia is a little different in that they got a Korean company to contract. They contracted a Korean company to make them the adapters, which isn't. That's fine. What's different about these is they are Hyundai Kia exclusive because they were built for the eGMP platform, and those run with 800 volts packs, so their amperage is lower. So the adapter's amperage is lower. But the problem is that the amperage they can take is lower than the 400 volt pack cars. So if you have one of these adapters, or are looking at obtaining one, or have multiple cars in the family, the Hyundai Kia adapter is not suitable for anything other than maybe the Lucid. But that depends on which Lucid you have as to how it does the boost. Because if the Lucid is expecting 400 amps to boost that up, that won't work. But if the Lucid will work on the lower amps that the Kia does, then you might be fine. So at this point, I would say this is a manufacturer exclusive adapter, just to be safe, because what will happen electrically if you use this on the wrong car is it will have less amperage ampacity than the car that you've had hooked up to, and the system, the supercharger network, can handle. And since it's a passive adapter, it will, well, mostly passive, I should say. It's got some features for like temperature and stuff to like cut them off, but mostly passive. What will happen here is this is the weak link in the chain, which means it's a fuse, which means that as you exceed its capacity, it will melt. It'll melt. And when it melts, with this kind of input, we're talking on the non-V4 superchargers. We're talking the V3 pluses and below. So it can have a V4 front end, but still be a V3 in the back. So on these systems, they can do 500 volts and 500 amps, or 500 volts and 400 amps, something to that effect. And this adapter is only built for like 350, 250, and that's not safe. So the good news is, welcome Hyundai Kia. They've got an adapter. It's free. The PSA is do not use the adapter on anything but these Hyundais and Kias. The next cars should have NACS native, so I don't think that the extra I don't think I need to be extra clear with that. Also, if you have an older, like a Kia Niro or Hyundai Niro, I don't know, that'd be Ioniq, old like Ioniq 2 or something. If you have the older Hyundai Kias, you didn't get yours for free if you purchased after a certain date. So you can go ahead and purchase this from Hyundai Kia, but take a look at the price, because if the price is close enough, just get the aftermarket ones, because they can be used on your next car or your previous car or rental or whatever. But if theirs is like $50, then I don't blame you for getting the Hyundai Kia for your Hyundai or Kia old vehicle. Just saying. Okay, so now we've got, as soon as I find the mouse, we've got ourselves. So welcome to the social. Welcome to the Supercharger Club, Hyundai Kia. They were already in it, but now they can actually use it. We've got a series of X posts from Max to Zigger. Speaking of supercharging, right? Paste and go, huh? Paste and go. So we've got a new mode right here that we talked about on the Tesla Life show as well. There's a new feature called supercharger battery heating, and it sounds familiar because we've got preconditioning on the way to a supercharger, and we've had that for years now. But this is new, starting on the standard range packs. So the lithium iron phosphate battery packs, they have what they call AC warming, which sounds a little weird. What it is you've got AC charging normally when you charge at home or at level 2 charging points around the neighborhood, right? But that goes through the charger, and the charger puts DC into the battery. When you plug into a supercharger, it bypasses the onboard charger. You're with me so far? So then after bypassing the onboard charger, instead of sending in the DC that the battery runs on, they send through AC. And they vary the amplitude and the frequency, and they just warm up the cells internally, because the cells aren't made to run on AC. They run on DC. And so it's just pushing AC, feathering it through the pack till the pack heats up internally, and this will help speed up the heating process by 4x. So we're looking at if you had a situation like last year in Chicago with the Uber drivers who were bringing these frozen cars without having them preheated, and they were saying it was going to take them an hour and a half to charge, 2 hours to charge. Well, cut that to a quarter, and we're back on track. And so Max says this feature may seem small, but it's pretty incredible. Through an AC ripple current coming from the supercharger, cold-soaked LFP batteries will be able to get back on the road up to 4 times faster. This is possible through Tesla's vertical integration and some of our incredible engineers. Excuse me. For best performance, though, always precondition your battery before supercharging. Yeah, so if you could combine this, navigate to the supercharger on the map, and then when you get there, if it's still not ready, it can ripple the AC through you. I have a feeling that if this goes well, we might see this open up to the other format packs, the 18650s, the 2170s, and the 4680s, Gen 1 and 2. But we'll see. So it looks like this on your screen, supercharger battery heating. Supercharger is now heating your battery for faster charging. Versus, your car's now preconditioning for supercharging, which is the other message you'll see as you arrive towards the supercharger. The supercharger battery heating is now live at V3 and V4 posts in cold climates. So we're talking Canada, maybe not the UK, Scandinavia for sure. Definitely Norway, Sweden. Let's see. And Austin asked how is this different from superchargers have always done. The superchargers weren't doing it before. Your car was doing it. That's what's different. The stats sound amazing, and I believe you. I just want to understand what's different a little better. So Max clarifies. The supercharger sends AC ripple current through the battery to help warm it up, versus the battery alone warming itself up. First time this ever gets done like this. And yeah, I'd say so because you have to know how the battery is built and have tested this, and the third-party vendors just don't have that unless they get like driver packs or something from the manufacturers on how to speed up their charging. I think they're not going to get that. Tesla app updates iOS says this is a clever engineering feat. AC ripple current is a small oscillation on the DC charging current, which generates heat through electrical resistance in the battery, warming up for faster charging. Incredible innovation. Any issues balancing heat generation with unwanted battery degradation? It's a liquid-cooled battery. They're controlling everything. If it gets out of line, they'll stop the AC, just do DC, and they'll run the coolant pumps. Done. So no, you should not see excessive degradation from this. The question, though, is I'm wondering if that could help with any of the lithium dendrites that occur as the batteries age. Can we have the option not to warm up with the battery? I don't always want to pay extra when I'm not in a hurry. They charge you on the peak rate and the amount of time, and unless you're right on the edge, you won't go up to the next level. And on top of that, the amount of time that you're there should outweigh the few minutes that it sits at peak. So that statement doesn't jive. I have no idea what this means, but I'm excited. Uh-oh, it's not clicking. Alright, try click now. Can you click? Yeah, you can click. Sometimes the mouse on Mac just doesn't make it into the browser. So LFPs get to rock out with both AC and DC of the supercharger. Exactly. Let's get AC-DC logo. Strictly for LFP, or will it be for the 2021 SR and SR Plus as well? Max, isn't this what preconditioning does before arriving at the supercharger? No, it's not. JT says some people still forget to precondition. And the answer is no, it's not. No, this is charging, is heating. From the supercharger. Directly in the cells. Via internal resistance. And the existing method is the heating with the HVAC and liquid pumps. you can do both at the same time for even faster heating. But you can't do this internally because the cells produce DC. They store DC. They output DC. You would need something special to be able to loop that back around. Let's see what they say about the LFPs. I suspect that they're next. I was always wondering why you're asking questions about Tesla specifics on here, but then I remember how big Tesla actually is. It feels like a family startup on X. Who is this guy? Software engineer at Tesla, lover of vehicles and renewables. Oh, I see what you're saying. He's saying if you work for Tesla, why are you asking on here? And the answer is because it's probably out of the division, and so he wants to know about his personal car, I guess. And so many people are like, why don't you ask internally? But bruh, I would find that unbelievably inappropriate. What? You can't just ask Elon? Just kidding. The way he describes it sounds like LFP only. That's what I'm thinking as well. It's also the only battery that probably needs this fundamental capability. Yeah, they are prismatic instead of cylindrical, I believe. You can have them as cylindrical, but I don't think it does. Unless they have a 4680 LFP, which they do, I believe, but I don't know if it's in production or if it's even in the car. Maybe the LFP pack is just the best example for an impressive result because LFP suffers the most in cold conditions. Can't imagine why AC ripples would be dependent on the DC battery chemistry side. The only thing I see is they need more testing on the various packs to make sure that they don't mess them up. Because they're only expecting DC to be input and output. Alright, so let's do that, and let's go to... There's another one I want to click on. Option to manually precondition the battery from the vehicle in the app. I think that was added in an update, but I don't want to say it was and be wrong. I can only imagine the testing the guys did in order to ship this feature. Yeah, it was probably pretty intense. So where's the guy who was saying about he didn't want a price situation and didn't make sense? I want to see what the people told him. Is the cooling the charge curve limitation with 4680? That's a good question. Why does my 100D 18650 limit itself below 100 kilowatt by 50% state of charge? I agree. Mine has started doing that as well. It cuts down severely before I'm ready to jump to the next station, even if I wanted to do the hops. Unless it's because it's still learning this new battery. Because I've only got a couple hundred miles on it. A couple thousand miles on it? A couple thousand miles on it. Is this applying AC directly to the pack so you get charge discharge cyclically? But at the AC frequency? What? I think I know what he's asking, but he worded it weird. So you can charge discharge cyclically at the AC frequency. Does this have an advantage over the same wattage being used to charge the battery, maybe wattage that can't be applied? What? Is there a way that the onboard charger can also generate this ripple? Actually, yes. Yes, it is. I don't know if it's capable of doing it, though, the way it's designed. But yes, it is capable of doing that. Because you got AC flowing into the onboard charger, and it's putting out DC. So all it would have to do is selectively pass some of that AC through. That would be pretty cool. Although I don't know if level 2 chargers charge fast enough that the heating would make a difference. Unless it's so frozen, you've left it unplugged for days on end at the airport. It's below the point you need to charge without wasting all that in the heater. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I see how you could use it on AC as well. So this guy, I want to get Grok to tell me what the heck he said. Tesla's innovation involves applying AC current directly to the battery pack, cycling charge. The advantage of this method. Yes, I know that, but what's he trying to say? But what is the poster trying to say? Say or ask. The poster, David Henson, asked for clarification on how Tesla's new supercharger battery heating works with LFP batteries in cold conditions. Specifically, he's inquiring if the process involves applying AC current directly to the battery pack, yes, causing it to undergo cyclic charging and discharge. Oh, I see what you're saying. Is as it's alternating, is it charge, discharge, charge, discharge? And it might be, because it's causing internal resistance. Maybe that's because it's going both directions. That is a fair question. The AC frequency. He's curious about the advantage of this method over using the same wattage to simply charge the battery. Well, the battery's too cold to accept that charge. That's why we need to heat it up. So that part. That would not be possible if the sole goal was charging while the pack was cold. Yeah, that's what I just said. Essentially, he is seeking to understand the technical details and benefits of this innovative heating strategy to improve the charging times for cold-soaked LFP batteries. Alright, now we've done that, let's go ahead and over to look at Anders' car. This one. Look at that! It's beautiful, isn't it? I know Andrews agrees, because he bought it. Got a nice blue Kia EV6. I think he says GT. Let me go back to the message. EV6 GT line from 2022. 239.3 kilowatts, 325 horsepower, and a 484-mile range on the Netiq. Look at that. I like the dark wheels on the blue. I think that thing's going to be a blast to drive, because that was part of the whole point of the GT, is that it's got that zoom feel. And if you saw it on CarWow, it was embarrassing. It's gas brethren. Even up, I think they had Lamborghini lost to it in a drag race, which is really cool for something that doesn't scream, look at me, I'm fast. It's like, hey, I'm a normal car, I'm comfortable, you'll enjoy it. And then you get in it, it's like, monster! Ah! I like a good sleeper. Mine's a little bit too much of a sleeper sometimes as well. Folks will look at it like it's one of those non-police edition Explorers, because I guess if you don't see too many Model X's, it does kind of look like that. And then they try and do stupid stuff around me, and then I don't teleport because I don't have a plaid, but I embarrass them. Oh, you thought I was going to let you get in front of me at 20 miles below what I'm already doing? Nah. Get behind me. Let's see. Oh, so we got some more tweets in that same place that I saved. We may have already looked at them, but as I told you last week, I learned a little bit to save some of the more important subtweets to make sure. So we got the one from Tesla itself. For those wondering how this is different than what they currently do, give us manual preconditioning as an option. Again, I don't know if that's a thing already, because there were some serious changes in the holiday update, and I just can't remember now. And as a Ludicrous owner, I've already had manual preconditioning whenever I want. I just put it in Ludicrous Plus and give it up to 30 minutes, and it'll heat itself up. don't usually need to use that. And ever since the Munchkin came around, I don't know the last time I actually put it in Ludicrous Plus. Let's do it again just for fun. If only we had a button to start preconditioned charging before. A bunch of people asking about having a button. Excuse me. We need manual preconditioning, nearly 0 superchargers in Turkey, and we need to go to another DC station and wait for the battery to heat up. Okay, I agree. You guys have said it. Copy link, paste and go. This is a clever engineering feat. Yeah, we talked about that. Scroll. Alright, we've got a whistleblower. A VinFast whistleblower alleges structural flaws could cause the wheels to come off, and he gets fired. Because apparently the way that he did it isn't subject to whistleblower protections. I'm turning off the fan now because the rain has started again, and now it's cold. It says it's going. I don't see that it's going. Maybe I'll do it again. Oh, you know what? It's inside EVs. I bet you they sent us to the goofball repeater again. The one that's got the bad security certificates installed. So, while we wait on that, I'll open a new tab. And we'll talk about more changes to the cars. I don't want to call the supercharger heating a recall, but we had the VW doors. We had the the supercharging adapters is not a recall either. Your connection isn't private. I know. I figured they put me on the dopey repeater, so we'll come back later. But in the meantime, oh, there it is. Never mind. So VinFast whistleblower alleges structural flaws that could cause the wheels to come off and gets fired. So we've talked in the past about how the suspension just isn't good on the VinFasts. Like, it doesn't feel good. And apparently it's worse than that. Yes, this guy, Kevin Williams, is the one who told us he went to Vietnam, and he said it was like riding some sort of amusement park ride. It was like bouncy and just not comfortable. And they released it the same way because he had a chance to drive the final, and he's like, yeah, this is not any better than the prototypes. And now he's telling us that Hazard Denali worked for, or Denli, sorry, not Denali. Hazard Denli worked for Tata Technologies. So Tata owns VinFast, I guess? Tata owns a lot of stuff, so I didn't expect that. I thought that VinFast was just Vietnamese. A consulting firm that did much of... Oh, okay, so they did engineering work, so they contracted somebody who knew what they were doing. And then did not check their work. They did much of the chassis engineering work on VinFast VF6, 7, 8, and VF9 models. Denley claims that he was fired and blacklisted after posting a Reddit thread expressing serious safety concerns about VinFast products. And so the folks that were saying he did it the wrong way, I think this is the part that got him fired. Reddit thread, rather than any other methods, such as going to a regulatory body or going to the correct channels inside the company. If you were to go to the Consumer Safety Division or anything like that, they would be hard-pressed to retaliate against you, because that would open up to more more negative outcomes if they were to do that. But violating the company's social media policy is an easy way for them to just kind of weasel out and hit you. So, if you want to whistleblow, probably don't do it on Twitter X and Facebook and Reddit and all of them. Take it to the company, take it to the safety board, or whatever regulator you need to. But putting it on social media is risky. Now, putting it on there after you've already gone to the regulating agency, consult your attorneys, because you're gonna need them. You're gonna need them, and then say, hey, this is what I did. Can I do this? And they might say, you shouldn't. But if it's gonna save lives, it might be worth it. Denley claimed that VinFast's suspension components were inadequate and prone to failure. It's an accepted fact that VinFast cars aren't very good. The brand has been plagued with missed delivery dates, poor reviews, low sales, and an alarming allegation that it has police detain certain critics of its products in its home country. Hi, Moto. What's up? You have adult stress? What are you eating? What's in your mouth?
I got me.
You got me? Oh, okay. What am I supposed to do with adult stress? Yeah, Maribel likes butterflies.
Mom, I liked it.
You washed it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now she get to wear her clothes. Mm.
I'm trying to inside.
Mm. Okay.
What's in my mouth?
Gummies, you told me. Don't put your finger in your mouth, you go throw up.
What's that? What's that?
It's your teeth.
Mommy.
Mommy take a nap?
Yeah.
Mm.
My feet be my pad.
Where's your pad?
Be my pad, Daddy.
You bring your pad. I'm talking on the screen.
Carry my pad.
You know where it is, bring it. It's your pad. So, yeah, so the allegations they use the police, and last week, an engineer responsible for VinFast's latest models claimed he was fired after an AMA on Reddit. The engineer became really concerned about the quality of the suspension components on its models. He became concerned with the approach to speed and deadlines, insisting that the brand was cutting corners with its product, particularly development of the VF6 and 7 crossovers.
What's Daddy want?
Look at that, baby.
What's Daddy?
Yeah? Okay, you want to sit in this yellow chair and watch it? Here, come here and sit in this yellow chair and watch it.
Ten.
You can't because you got a toy in the chair. There you go. Put that down on the floor.
What's that?
What's what?
What's that?
I don't know what you're putting in.
A game.
Oh, the box for your game? Yes. Oh, is this Brazilian? You're listening to Brazilian Portuguese? Like Vova?
I want for an ABC game.
What ABC game?
What thing? I need for ABC game. My favorite is game. And my
Oh, this one?
your favorite
This one?
game. No.
Not this one. Okay, after the show, we'll do it. So the parts wore out 5 times as quickly.
Daddy.
Yes.
What's Daddy? What's Daddy?
Oh, you play your ABC game on there?
What's Daddy?
Okay.
What's Daddy? What's
All right, we'll have fun.
one? Swimming.
So the allegations are that the parts are wearing out 5 times as quickly during validation testing as they should have. Some parts lasted as short as 15,000 miles, He said this premature wear could lead to a loss of control of the vehicles. Wow. That's a substantial allegation. We saw, for example, that the front strut to knuckle connection was loosening and could be extremely dangerous. Yes. It could cause a loosening of the entire structure that could cause the wheels to come off. That's not good. So see, if you brought this to the safety groups, there could have already been a recall if you did that instead of starting on Reddit. Reddit can't initiate a recall. Just saying. Dolly says that Jaguar Land Rover conspired with its parent group, Tata Group, alongside VinFast, who figured out who made the Reddit thread. Wow. And when Denali was identified, I can call him Denali, Denley was identified, he was subsequently terminated, and his name was blacklisted in industry recruiting software, and the BBC says. And keep in mind that VinFast's IPO paperwork revealed that Tata Technologies, a part of Tata Group, did much of the chassis engineering for all of VinFast's models except for the VF3 and the VF5.
Baby tiger.
Baby Tiger?
Yeah.
Daniel Tiger's little sister?
Sister hiking toy.
Yes. Alright, so this is ongoing, and we will watch it, and we'll see. The largest lithium producing country is Australia, second is Chile. U.S. has plentiful untapped lithium supply. Nobody's trembling over garbage Chinese cars. Troy, this is Vietnamese, they're not Chinese. You're talking about raw materials, and now the raw spodumene, and you will find out about 90% of Australia's raw lithium containing materials that are shipped to China for refining. Chile and South America have substantial lithium containing deposits and mines. The MOUs are specifically signed, memorandums of understanding are specifically signed that Chile, the largest entity of the operation of raw materials that has China, the largest entity, awkwardly worded. The consideration is that China has about 60% of the known lithium raw materials tied up in a majority ownership, or MOUs, of mine spodumene. This is what folks are talking about when they say supply chain critical materials is a national security problem. A slow market infrastructure response is all I can blame. China is at least lucky to have a good amount of lithium. It looks like the VinFast comments got tied up in another article. Based on the comments, they're all talking about China and lithium, and they're talking about VinFast whistleblowers. So either everybody's just off base, or there's a mistake in the comment system. So now we've got Road and Track is saying that Jaguar is buying back almost 3,000 I-Pace EVs due to the fire risk. So we said that they had another recall, and rather than fix it, it seems they're just going to buy the car back. So the 19 I-Pace EV has already been recalled 5 times since May of 2023 due to the high voltage battery, which may overheat and cause a fire. In spite of all these recalls, Jaguar Land Rover, aka JLR, still hasn't been able to find a permanent fix for the issue. Yeah, because it's using LG cells with contamination, right? So you can't fix the contamination with software.
Daddy.
Yes, baby.
Eyeball.
Eyeball?
Yeah. Eyeball.
Eyeball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyeball don't roll.
No, eyeballs should not be rolling. They should be in your head.
Eyeball are rolling the car. Ball not in my head.
No?
Yeah. Boy in floor.
The boy's on the floor.
Yeah. Mommy, my robot in bar. I talk. Daddy.
Yes, baby.
I talk.
You ran away with the car.
I talk.
So, since they can't find a permanent fix, the automaker has decided to buy back 2,760 of the affected I-Paces. Incredible. The trouble started in the middle of 23 when a recall was issued for I-Pace vehicles that could face a thermal overload condition, which could lead to a blaze. Owners were advised to park the vehicle and charge the vehicle outside and away from structures until the fix a software update to monitor the battery pack assembly. Operational status for potential thermal overload was implemented. The same story we saw on the Kias, the Hyundais, and the Bolts. It was LG, that particular LG Energy or LG Chem, whichever LG entity made those packs, had contamination in the cells, and they would self-immolate.
I want to go to Yaya's house.
Yaya's house is 26 hours away by plane, child.
Daddy. Daddy.
Hmm?
I want to go to Yaya's house.
I'll think about it. You didn't get your paperwork updated. There have been 3 fires, wow, involving the I-Pace that have already received software updates.
Door. Yaya have my bag.
Yaya has your what?
Yaya have my bag.
The bear for you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yaya have 10 pop.
You're not allowed to have K-Pops.
I have.
She can mail you your bear. The mailman will get here faster than we could get over there. I had to have a word with Yaya trying to bribe you on an international flight. Let's see. The I-Pace vehicles that are included in the buyback campaign are 2019 models produced between January 5th of 2018. They were able to get started a whole year early and still call them 19s? Wow. January 5th, 2018 to March of 2019. And yes, baby.
I first rainbow.
Enjoy your rainbow, baby. And the high voltage battery pack assembly was produced by LG Energy Solution Company. Owners may check to see if their vehicle is affected by contacting the NHTSA hotline at 888-327-4236 or go to nhtsa.gov. What?
I have bacon.
You have bacon?
I have bacon.
Oh, you're baking a cake.
I have bacon.
You baked a cake.
Yes, Daddy.
It's a pretty cake. It's a unique, looks like a seashell shape. Yes. Mm-hmm. It's very pink. And yellow. Keep on frosting it. Alright, so that's Jaguar. If you have one, look at getting it bought back. Because they apparently can't fix it. This one's from me, apparently. Copy link. Paste and go. Alright, so Tesla Life showed us a link to the Not a Tesla app website where they were talking about the new coordinated shows. Tesla previously had showed us this as a video with somebody dressed as Santa with a 360 cam doing some pretty cool moves. And so I said, yes, Not a Tesla app. Now you're probably going to say, wait, we've seen these kind of shows already. And I was going to say, cool, to see. The quote was, now you're probably going to say, wait, we've seen these kind of light shows already. And yes, I was going to say that. But it's cool to see that they've expanded from past 5 cars now up to 8, and that they continue to work on this fun side project / marketing vehicle, ? Excuse me, I have a tweet message to look at. Let's see. Who would it be from? It is from Robert. What you got there, Robert? Robert's showing us some of the EVs in his area. Let's take a look. That one looks like a Model X. And then this one above it is was an X-Pung? I don't know. Robert goes on some incredible walks, and he sees some stuff. So let's take a look at what he's got here in the DMs. Right there. There's the Model X. It's definitely a Model X. You see the split in the window. And the wing with the Euro tow hitch. It's a cool color. And then we've got scrolling. I'm trying to scroll, it doesn't want to scroll. Looks like when Robert was live, he saw this particular EV. That's pretty cool. And still trying to scroll. And next, oh boy, that's why it's not scrolling. The stupid scroll reverser situation with Mac. Let's turn off the scroll reverser. Let's turn it back on. And uh-oh, well, we lost the YouTube live stream. Monitor. Hopefully we're still online. It says we've got people watching, so even though that the streaming monitor isn't working, doesn't mean that we're not online. Alright, so it's back. And okay, good. It still says live. And oh, Lee says happy Sunday. Thank you. And Andrew says thank you. And Timothy says cheers. And 010 says hi. Alright, sorry I missed those. Oh, you know what? Because I was distracted. Yes, baby.
Daddy Ginger, where are you?
Alright, but don't play with your food.
Daddy Ginger,
Here I am. How do you do? Eat that and put it in your mouth. Don't play with it. So, Robert says that it's the BYD in that other picture.
Daddy.
Baby.
Daddy Ginger, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm talking to these people. Yes. Eat your gummy and play your game. Alright, where were we? Come on. Alright, we've got another X post. This one's kind of cool. Copy link. Paste and go. After this, I gotta start a school project. It sounded simple, but we'll see when I actually open up the instructions. Or, I've opened them before when I actually try to read the instructions and do what it says. How many vehicles have a service diagnostic scan tool and service information built right into the touchscreen? Not many. Tesla has for a few years, and it keeps getting better. I received the latest firmware update for my Cybertruck last night, and one impressive new menu item in the service menu. Excuse me. One impressive menu item, new menu item in the service mode plus is the 3D connector and harness view. This would have been so handy a couple of years ago when I was messing with the ice. I received the latest firmware update for my Cybertruck. You can locate any connector in the vehicle, tap on it, and see the connector pinout, wire colors, and where the harness connects. Where the harness connects with links to other connectors. This is very helpful for anyone trying to diagnose a circuit wiring issue. I suspect we will see this in other Teslas in the future. I suspect so. We will use the Cybertruck and 16 other vehicles in our upcoming EV boot camps. Join us here in Utah, USA next year. Then there are 6 new boot camps for 2025. To get started with 2 online prerequisites, continue at weber.edu. Is this Jack? It is, or Professor John Kelly. Professor John Kelly at Weber University. They tear down and rebuild and everything with all these EVs, and it is great work that I do appreciate watching. Whenever you have the time, sit down for about an hour at a time. He and his crew go through, and they did a great example of how the Tesla octavalve works. I'm not saying that that Monroe did a bad job, because Monroe tore it down and showed you a lot of stuff, but the way that John and the Weber crew did, I actually understood the modes of operation and like all the different places that it harvests the heat energy from, all the way down from the fan, the blower fan on the HVAC system to the. We already knew that it harvested heat from the motors, but it even harvests heat from the computer modules, which is pretty cool. I mean, I knew it pumped it away, but I didn't realize it was using it to help warm the car, which is awesome. So then he shows us some screenshots of the system from the Service Mode Plus. I guess we'll click on them to make them bigger. Grace says, we'd like to know the pinout for the display. And that's particularly important because folks like Chuck Cook want to know how to get the HDMI cloning of the screen going so they can help make their FSD videos a little better. Basti says Tesla just keeps raising the bar higher and higher. Service mode is already more sophisticated than any professional diagnostic tools I've seen in car repair shops, even despite being consumer facing. That's regular service mode, not service mode plus. Warning, Cybertruck owners. I triple dog dare ya. I think you just sold me a Cybertruck. Send me your reference code. I don't know if he's allowed to do that. The ethical concerns at the university level are steep. But I guess if it's the school's code, it's not so bad. I don't know. It's touchy. Smart engineering is even better. All right, so let's look at those pictures real quick. Start at the end and work our way up. All right, this is the release notes for the service update. The service update, service modes get the release notes too, just like everything else. I don't know why the stream chat on the screen hasn't updated, but it's updated here in multi-stream. Robert says, add my other live stream. I saw the other car, that one that makes phones. Oh, is it Xpeng or not Xiaomi? There's a couple of them that make phones. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The new one, not Xpeng. The Chinese phone maker, they're making EVs as well, and decent ones too. So here we see the wiring layout, and we can see where they go in the vehicle, which is really nice. And then here we can see the actual pinout of the connector that he's chosen, which is phenomenal. All right, so thank you, Professor Kelly, for sharing that with us. Then we've got, you might remember where I was concerned and confused about what was going to happen with our overseas folks that use the Type 1 connection with us, the J1772, the CCS1, all of that. And I said, well, they have really two choices. If they don't want this to get out of hand, they can go CCS2 or they can go NACS. And it looks like South Korea's water department is going NACS. So South Korea Water to install Tesla NACS, it's not Tesla NACS, to install J34, JNACS, J3400 chargers nationwide. There we go. It only makes sense. Why try and convert to Type 2 on a Type 1 electrical grid? South Korean company Bright Energy Partners, which operates the electric vehicle charging brand Water. Oh, I thought it was the water department. Well, no wonder they dropped a T. How am I supposed to think anything but? operates EV charging brand Water, is set to install fast chargers supporting Tesla's NACS. Why do you keep calling it Tesla NACS? So anyway, supporting the NACS and it's not that Tesla didn't make the NACS, but Tesla relinquished the NACS, and you're making it harder to say, and turning people off who have an anti-Tesla fever or whatever. So anyway, supporting JNACS at 46 locations across the country by end of 2024. This is the first time a charging operator in Korea, other than Tesla, has installed chargers at highway rest areas that are compatible with Tesla vehicles. On December 11th, Water signed an agreement with the Korea Expressway Corporation to establish 209 ultra-fast chargers at 46 rest stops nationwide. Each location will include at least one NACS-compatible charger as part of the plan. And the reason I fix that is unless they are running superchargers, they are not Tesla NACS, because you'll need the CCS conversion, which actually we got here first from Korea. So there were some folks who had imported the charging module and from South Korea, and then they had to get the appropriate updates. Yeah.
What's the word?
Oh, you have a portal? Okay, go show mommy. Chemical warfare. Mommy, Daddy kicked me out of the room. Yes. So they signed an agreement, and it's gonna be cool. It only makes sense. It's good to see. Next, we've got really cool news from Green the Only. Copy this, paste and go. For weirdos like me that like to tow with Teslas, (2024.45.32) adds new trailer profiles. What version am I on today? While it loads up, is loaded. I am on 2024.44.25.2. I'm one major version away from that. And a couple minor versions. Anyway, you can record your trailer mileage. So not just MPGs, basically, EMPGs. Actual mileage. So your trailers have every 5,000 miles do this, every 20,000 miles do that. They have a mileage. But there's no way to track that. Except manually, you're like, oh, I did a towing event here and here were my odometers, and very few people keep up on that. But now your car can. Especially if you only use one particular car to tow. The other thing they have is you can record whether it's an open or enclosed trailer, so that will help it predict your mileage. And or energy usage, as Green says. You can have up to 20 different profiles, so you can have a whole fleet of trailers this thing recognizes. You have to enter and switch all of that manually, despite all of the Tesla vision, I guess. So I guess that Green is expecting, excuse me, a little bit more automated. All input is error, right? So it's early days yet, but I get where he's coming from, so I'll allow it. Nav got route preferences like prioritize highway, prioritize time, and there are more Tencent games and icons for China, though I think Mojang was already present. Awesome. For all cars that can tow, not legacy? Question mark. I was hoping that he would answer that, but he did not. But he did answer somebody else. Let's see. What do you mean by enter manually? You were thinking they'd use the CV to detect which trailer you have and switch automatically. Maybe that'll come in the future, but it seems on the priority list. Green says at least the type of trailer could be detected reasonably well, I imagine. Yes. It needs to be trained for this. I suspect the manually selecting the options will be using us to label the camera feed, and eventually, after enough labeling, they can release an auto-detect feature. Mm-hmm. You mean like preparations to add them and activate these in the future update? I just got 2024.45.32, and none of the mentions show up. Green says, do you have trailer mode set up? Mars Play says, I just turned on trailer mode but didn't actually connect one. When I turned one, I noticed nothing. Going to check again though. Well, it might not be fully active then, I guess. Only on a subset of cars. Going to respond to you after I check again. Also, look at my latest posts. Did you notice Tesla changing something regarding when to turn on the front camera heating coils and when not? I never had any issues last year, but this year my cameras are mostly blocked by snow and ice when the car is parked outside with Sentry mode enabled. Interesting. Hopefully it's just a different type of snow than you're used to, and not that they changed it. Or changed it for the worse, I should say. Do you see these trailer profiles still disable autopilot? Then they are kind of useless. No changes to the profile would have on pre-existing autopilot behavior. Do you see any voice assistant Rocket additions at all? When do you expect to get it released? I mean, outside of all the stuff I saw in prior releases, no, nothing notable in this version. It's not like their training computer isn't still busy. I'd imagine the stuff will be unnecessary. 2 weeks, maybe. 6 months, definitely. That's an Elon joke right there. I like it. Plenty of competition available if that's too slow for you. There is actually, and they tow quite well for great distances, comparatively for EVs. So, careful what you say there. He's becoming irrelevant with V13. Not much to complain. So, we'll take the nonsensical item and make it a big deal. You guys realize he's not of the American mindset, so what he says is not necessarily a complaint. The fact that he's looking at it is kind of a good thing. So, I mean, he may be in America, but that doesn't mean he's of the American mindset as far as, like, I know you Europeans sometimes complain about us being smiling and kind of into your business all the time. So, keep that in mind. Are you kidding? AI 5 is coming soon. There'll be plenty to be discovered and revealed. Yes, exactly. I wonder if Green will like AI 5. He wasn't too impressed with AI 4. Any idea why my cloud profiles, remote cameras, and a lot of other software features are not present on MCU2 for Legacy X? Yes! Thank you. I can only suspect that Tesla really, really want people to upgrade, and this is just one of the ways to nudge people to the right direction. I've said it so many times. And Green can see what's in there, and he sees no reason either for any of this nonsense. And he agrees that some of it, at least, is them trying to make us buy a new car. I get where they're coming from, but a lot of us don't have the ability to change cars like underwear. Some of us have a cycle, be it 3 years, 5 years, 8 years. My warranty's not even out, and you want me to buy a new car? If I had the money, I would, but I don't. I suspected much. Me too. Yeah, it was looking that way. Especially with the stony silence. On items. Alright, quick explanation. It'd be nice if they let our warranties expire first. Alright. Can it track historical trips with the trailer? That's a good question. It remembers miles driven per trailer based on what you select during trips, and you also have an option to reset the counter. So it's like another trip meter then. That's kind of cool. Nice. We have a member that's at 56,000 miles with a trailer. It'd be nice to know if there's where he's at on a global list. Hey, baby.
This is fresh.
Huh?
Fresh.
You smell fresh. Good. Come on through.
I'm swimming.
You want all this way? Get on up there.
Yeah.
Come on, climb up.
I'm swimming.
Swimming?
Yeah.
Who's swimming?
Yeah.
In there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm swimming in the way.
Oh, you swimming in that way?
Turtle swim in my past.
Okay.
Later.
Who estimates range, you or Tesla?
That's the word.
Look at what, baby? Oh, that's a pretty lady. You color grandma's dress?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty sticker you made of grandma. Mostly Tesla, but it makes sense for you to do it too, just to avoid surprises. Good point. You know how best each trailer performs. I am still shocked that Tesla does not predict range properly. I agree. We did a road trip the other day, and Tesla insisted I be arriving with negative 4% range while on FSD.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm talking to our friends.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You're coloring.
What?
I did a road trip the other day, and Tesla insisted I'll be arriving with 4% range while on FSD, yet arrived at more than 3%, so negative 7% of error seems high to me. Well, if you were towing with FSD, FSD assumes you're not towing because it's not allowed to activate while towing. So that sounds like a personal problem to me. Lucky for you, for me, the revisions are typically in the other direction. You must have some battery degradation then. While on FSD, yet I arrived. So this was without the trailer. Yeah, it better have been without the trailer. The other thing is, if you just finish towing, sometimes the car still holds on to some of that high consumption. Do you still believe that Tesla robotaxis, with no one in the driver's seat, are years away, or do you think they are now in the foreseeable future?
What are you?
And Green says the actually functioning ones in public roads? Yeah, it's not like there was any development of late to change my opinion. So for him, it's a combination of the way that the software is performing with also the fact that you will have to get permits and politicians involved. So even if he feels that the software is better, he might not feel that the paperwork is going to happen any easier. Do folks realize the occasional mistake that V13 does on the road are not too dissimilar to what Waymo does? remember him saying that Waymo was any better. Excuse me. He might have said that Waymo was actually on the road, which is true.
Oh, baby, please.
Hmm? Okay. Waymo 2 drives on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, I saw that the other day. That was weird. It is hailed as a functioning robotaxi, but FSD robotaxi is supposedly 5 to 10 years away, according to Tesla Q. What gives? Well, for one, they don't have the certificate. Bye, baby. Oh, that's Mulan Bomb?
Yeah.
Okay. It's amazing how certain people totally ignore that Waymo cars don't have any drivers in them and are operating in multiple markets and are preparing to operate in even more. And yet Tesla has 0 driverless cars on public roads and insists their product stack cannot do it. Technically correct. Your post has no relevance to the question I raised in my post, does it? It's actually the antithesis of what I was pointing out. Folks are expecting FSD to be 100% accurate before becoming unsupervised, yet overlook how glaringly Waymo is nowhere near perfect. But they are out there. So, if Tesla's good enough, apply for the permits, do it. I see where Green's coming from on this. On the other hand, your post overlooks how glaringly ill-prepared Tesla stack is to handle own errors. Something that Waymo excels at. If he's talking about the telepresence, then yeah, I guess. This is why Waymo cars can have no driver, and Tesla forces driver monitoring in your robotaxi-ready car, even on perfect drives. The reason Tesla forces it is so that they don't get pulled from the roads for violating the level 2 requirements. And they could do that. It'd be unwise, but they could definitely today push them out as Waymo with the right permits. You still haven't answered the key question. How's Waymo driving on the wrong side, doing precarious left turns with incoming traffic superior to FSD? You and others seem to pillory FSD as not ready for reasons you give Waymo a pass. They have a permit. Doesn't mean they're good, but they have the permit. Tesla just needs to apply for the permit and push them out there if they want. But I agree that they are wise not to do that until some version of 13, I guess. Because what I see on 12 is not a comforting product for a customer. And I suspect Robotaxi might hit the road in limited trials this coming year, 2025. Waymo style, just certain cities, that sort of thing. The mistake in your reasoning is attributing Tesla decisions to me. Yeah. It's not just me that thinks FSD is not ready for driverless operations. It's Tesla who is adamant that it's very not ready to be there. Or very not ready, and there must be super robust driver monitoring to have a semblance of safety. Yes and no on Tesla there. Some of that is legal requirements. They want to make sure they adhere to level 2 and don't get pulled from the roads. But also, they have not demonstrated a fully driverless since 2016, other than We Robot, which was not on public roads. So I see where Green is coming from here. Like when Tesla does do some new demonstrations, like either with the Robotaxi or the existing cars, then
One more than me.
more gummies.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go bring them and I'll open it for you. Once they seem to feel comfortable that their product can handle it, then he might reevaluate. But as they
Daddy, come on.
currently don't,
One more gummy,
then I get
Daddy.
why he would take the stance.
Daddy, one more gummy.
They're on the snack shelf. Bring me a gummy bag and I will open it for you.
Okay.
The snack shelf is at your hand level. You don't need any help getting
Come
them.
on, Daddy.
In the green box, grab a bag of gummies and bring it to me. Hi, Daddy. Gummy now.
Daddy, come on.
Hi. Hi, Daddy. Come here now.
Hi, Daddy.
Mm.
Come on, Daddy.
No.
I see a robot.
There's no robot. There's a Christmas tree right there. It's on. You can see. There's no robots between here and there. None that can move. I think it's about 8 robots between here and there, but they're all stuck to the ceiling, stuck to the wall. There's even a robot on the light switch itself, right above those snacks. Yeah, I told you you could do it. All right, sit in your chair and I'll open this for you. Here you go. Let's see. So the mistake was attributing to me. It's Tesla who's adamant that they're not ready. Fatal flaw in your lame reasoning is that you've now backtracked and switched your narrative to Tesla's actions. He's been pretty consistent on this, as I said before we started the thread. So by your own logic, you should be on board with Tesla's projection that they'll be. He's very clearly sidestepping the future. He's saying he'll believe it when it happens, or at least when they've got it in the chute to launch. And I don't blame him. I mean, Elon's been on this whole kick since 2016. It's going to drive itself this year, and then it doesn't. So, as an analytical individual, why would he waste his cycles on what ifs when he's been burned in the past about these what ifs, and everything he sees doesn't match? He's not as just pie in the sky as some of us can be. So, yeah, I don't blame him. If you want to remain willfully blind, that's your choice. I am being very objective. Are you? Tell me how V13 is similar to current Waymo. He's just going to come back to the fact that keep your eyes on the road. Neither are perfect. Yeah, nobody said they were. They make similar mistakes. Okay. Why do you expect FSD to be 100% perfect before going unsupervised robotaxi? He didn't say that. When Waymo is running imperfect software as a robotaxi. Green says, I told you from the very beginning, and it's obvious to any non-blind person. Waymo does not have drivers. Tesla forces drivers to be there, just in the FSD-enabled cars, but forces them to pay attention too. That's all you need to know about those systems' fault tolerances, or their company's comfort with liability and risk. So I can see where he's coming from. And until Tesla is willing to accept the liability of FSD unsupervised, he can't say if and when it's going to happen. And he doesn't want people saying, well, Green said it'll be here next year, and it's not here next year. I get that. Several cases with Waymo where they should have had a safety driver monitoring. Maybe Waymo is too lax. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure he'd agree with you on that. And yet they are safer than human drivers already. That's the threshold. That's what Tesla keeps saying. V13 appears as safe as Waymo or even better. Okay, well then, bring it on. Plenty of takeovers. All the reviewers say it works better, but is not yet ready to be unsupervised. Well, there you go. If people outside of Tesla are saying theirs is not ready, then that tells us something. FSD needs a driver. Waymo operates without a driver. They are not the same. Yet. Oh, that's not very nice. He calls him a moron. Why aren't able to understand the simple logic? Waymo acts as erratic. I think he's running in a circle. FSD cannot operate without a driver. Waymo can. Outsider here. It looks like if Tesla applies for the permits, accepts the liability, most of the folks on this thread will be willing to engage in a Waymo v. Tesla discussion. But now, that's currently a hypothetical. Maybe even FSD unsupervised with driver in seat distracted will be comfortable for them. Alright, now if I can spell unsupervised correctly, there. Alright, there we go. Have you found anything on T's on the 12.6 for hour 3 yet? That's interesting. He didn't answer. Can we turn on the cruise control or navigate on autopilot when using the trailer now? We can do cruise control, but you have to have a whole separate profile set up for autopilot turned off, or manually turn it off and remember to turn it back on before you start driving, because you can't turn it back on when you're driving, which is a pain. So I've got a human profile named trailer mode, so that way if I forget to turn on trailer mode, I don't have to pull over and park and turn off FSD, so I can use regular cruise control again. And then I've got another one that's just my name that I can switch to if I forget to take it out of trailer mode, so I don't have to pull over and park to use FSD, which, ugh. So I suspect, based on what he said already in the thread, the answer is going to be no to that. Based on what he said in the thread, that hasn't been touched. Is this only on Cybertruck, or does it roll back to Legacy X? Hey, I asked the same question. Still no answer. When I get the update, I will plug in my trailer and see. I'm not going to actually tow with it unless I have somewhere to go with the trailer, because it's a pain. But my street is not set up for parking the trailer comfortably, and then the car likes to hang on to it because its parking place is at an angle, not flat. This deserved an article. And so he wrote an article on Green's tweet. Anything new of traffic recognition within the fleet? Let's preview this guy's article. He got some hearts and some retweets. Alright, so he embedded Green's tweet. Okay, I like that. Alright, I'll give you a heart on that. That was a decent little blurb of an article. I'm always leery of articles based on tweets. It's a little weird. Here are some people who could take advantage of the trailer profiles. Yeah, they could. And I could. Moving on, we've got some more to cover. Oh, and I forgot that the messages are not showing on screen. So I need to click over here to see if you guys have put anything. So Robert says that the Model Y taxi is here now. Awesome. That is cool to see. Next, we've got Green the Only and the trailer profiles, and the Chinese games, and then Drive Tesla Canada also was talking about Green's tweets. They also wrote an article on it. And as I just said that articles on it were weird, the reason I included the Drive Tesla article that Darren linked to is that the blurb in the article that caught my attention Because sometimes, the folks will put in useful, like, references. And it seems that they did. This gotta be charging at home. Look how long that cable is. Yeah, the house there is charging at home. Making easier for drivers to tow. Green the only. Whoa, come back. 20 profiles. Yeah, here. So, factoring in such details, the Tesla system can better estimate energy usage and adjust range calculations accordingly. A unique aspect of trailer profiles is the ability to record mileage for each trailer. This addresses a common challenge in trailer maintenance, as trailers typically lack odometers. With Tesla's system, owners can monitor accumulated mileage to keep track of serviceable components like tires and brakes, and hubs, and bearings, and axles, ensuring safer and more efficient towing. So if you only have Teslas and you do use multiple Teslas per vehicle, what you can do is come through and just go between all your cars that trailer exists on and add up the mileage. Unless this shows up in the apps like Teslascope and Teslafy and the others with their new Fleet API access. That would be really cool. Oh yeah, so we have a couple days left of the Tesla referral link. Mine is here.
I'm scared when Mommy.
You're scared you want Mommy? She's right over there. With that, I put it in the chat there. With that referral code, you currently get, depending on which vehicle you're interested in and whether it's in inventory or you lease it or buy it, there are several perks, including at least 3 months of FSD and supercharging. The ability to transfer FSD is there currently. You can stack this with the veterans discounts, and you've got just a handful of days. We've got till the 31st at midnight, and at that point, if you don't already have your car delivered, the referral program reverts to where it was before the end of the push, with $500 coming to me, and then whatever the less intense benefits to you are at the time and per car. So Cybertruck probably leaves that entirely. It leaves the referral program again on the 1st, and S and X will be based on whether they have enough on hand or not, and then 3 and Y will go back to their lower levels, and soon I suspect the Model Y will be leaving the referral program for many months, as we are starting to see folks testing Project Juniper out on the roads. In the camouflage, they're seeing light bar leakage from the rear hatch, and so that's going to follow every other Tesla referral program we've seen ever, where the new thing comes out and it's just gone from the referral program because they don't need any help selling it. They've got more orders than cars. So if you wanted to take advantage of any of that, or if you wanted to use any of the federal incentives, again, the IRS is saying that Congress won't be seated until after the new year, so they can't mess with it, and the new administration won't be seated until the 20th, so they can't mess with it. However, the previous time this administration was in power, they were able to find money that they weren't supposed to be able to touch and mess with it. So if it is extremely important to you for the $7,500, $4,500, etc., you've got a couple of days to be sure that it's not going to get messed with. If they don't care to mess with it, then by 2026 for sure. They've promised us all this stuff will be gone, but they say stuff. They promise us a lot of stuff that they will or won't do, and do the opposite. So if you want certainty in your life, and then this was important to you, you've got till the 31st at midnight to have your vehicle paperwork showing up in your name. So us procrastinators, yeah. Your final warning. Like I said, IRS says don't worry about it, you'll be fine. But like I said, this man had me out on the street. I had a job that was untouchable, and it got touched. So, you've seen me salty about Tesla. You mess with my job, I'll be more salty. Like I keep saying, don't mess with my family, my food, or my bread. Bread being money in that case. And you do, and you've made somebody who's not very pleased with you. I don't want to say an enemy, because I'm not, but I will be extremely cautious around you if you mess with my stuff. My family goes on to friends as well. You mess with my friends, you got a problem too. News. Security oversight by software company Cariad left the location data of over 800,000 Volkswagen EVs in Europe exposed to the open internet for several months. We keep saying cybersecurity is important, and here's more proof of it. Worse than this, though, is that you didn't know what was happening, so it's kind of tough to keep yourself protected from this one. Simply driving the car would have exposed you, and there's no indication that that not checking boxes would have done it. I guess in Tesla land, if you check the privacy stuff, that doesn't make the app work very well. And this was them, you wouldn't have been in that particular leak. Spoiler, VW owns Cariad. Really? So Volkswagen did this on their own. Excuse me. Volkswagen Group owns Cariad, an automotive software company that develops technology and software for the automotive industry. Volkswagen Group is the parent organization for Cariad SE. Their mission is to create software-defined vehicles that integrate the automotive experiences, into digital life, and their goal is to make automotive mobility safer and more sustainable and more comfortable. Failed. Their location is in Germany, but their software is developed and delivered around the world, with over 6,000 employees, engineers, and designers worldwide. Their platform includes a vehicle OS, vehicle cloud platform, and a unified architecture for all the Volkswagen Group's brands. How do you say oops in German? Best ad for Tesla, thanks Volkswagen. AKA, when your software sucks. Unacceptable for this to ever happen to the vehicles affected. You should have a software that is protected and no one can access it except the people who are on the OS side. Many legacy automakers use like a company to make their software and developed on Android Auto OS or Google's. There's no indication of nefarious access to the info before the vulnerability was patched. Translation, open on the internet without access logs, so we have no way to know what accessed it or who accessed it. That's true. Which is worse, leaving the passwords to all of your voting machines on the internet longer? I don't know if that actually happened the way you say. But yeah, no, actually, he's right. That did happen, but not... that was a mess, if it's the one I'm thinking of. But somehow it was not an effect. Or they changed them before it happened? I don't remember. Excuse me. The reason I'm scrolling further is I actually had input on this one. Oops. Alright, so what I will do is I'll open the article, and then on this other window, I will go and find my tweets and replies. Motor 1 is also the same as Inside EVs, so I'll probably get the wrong repeater. Oh, it worked! Alright, so let's see. Let's look at me. And while we wait for that to load, no indication of any nefarious access. Security oversight. Allow the publication to track... Well, how can you say there's no... when a publication is able to track it? Security Hole allowed a publication to track the location of 2 German politicians with alarming precision, with the data placing a member of the German Defense Committee at his father's retirement home and the country's military barracks. Spiegel also profiled a mayor with her car collecting her movements from the town hall where she worked to a physical therapist. It found data for cars from Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, Skoda, alongside incredibly detailed data about ID3 and ID4 owners. Alright, so come on, Twitter, X. I'm over here clicking. Do what I said. Is it frozen? Oh no, it's just not accepting input. Alright, so now we need... let's click in one. It will get me... Yep. And then we'll go to tweets and replies. And then we'll scroll down a little bit. When was this? December 27th. Alright, so let me go down to December 27th. '28th. 21 hours ago. Oof. Gotta, you know what? Fine. I'll share this one too. We'll come back to it. I ran across some stuff for the last couple days. Some of them I definitely did not put in the notes, so I will scroll backwards and put them up here as we go. There you go, 27th. Yeah, I got into some spicy topics this week. Some seriously spicy topics this week. Oh, I should probably restrain myself. What I'm looking for is my comment on cybersecurity at Tesla. Maybe it wasn't the 27th. I've got down to the 26th now. I'm going to do a Command F, sorry. Let me try something real quick. I didn't use any hashtags, so I should see it in the search. Alright, so I was looking at another way to search by history, and that came up without anything. They've got a bunch of 27ths and 26ths in mixed in with each other. I don't understand how they display this. Because I'm like literally on my reply feed. Unless it's based on something about the original thread. I'm just going to keep going until I don't see any more 26s and 27s. And then I'll look for cybersecurity. But as I said, it's a lot. I went ham, didn't I? Alright, this is 24. Oh, that's a 26 too. 24 and 26. There's Christmas. Alright, we're at Christmas. I think that should be safe. May Musk's gingerbread house. Questionable Christmas lights. My grandpa not renting from Hertz, even though he worked there. Not talking about password switching. People saying that my daughter's a chattel. Fire blankets. Fire blankets were a thing for Christmas. EV fires, of which I have seen one. And it was started by a Jeep that was on fire that ran into my friend's Volt. And then the Volt caught fire. That one's also Christmas. Gridlock. Saying stuff. Elon said, you can just say things. And I said, yeah, I say all kinds of stuff. But I like having a clear theme so people know where I stand, even if they disagree. Helps avoid ending up like the boy who cried wolf. Well, our responses to him are walk a fine line. Interesting. Okay. The original Tesla Roadster. Typo. Big immigration debate this week. So, while we wait on that, let's copy this link here. I'm just going to hit them all in reverse order. I don't care at this point. Yeah, that was the meat of that article. Let's go over to this tweet I shared. I'll look for more. We talked about Martians and belters. And I threw King Kai out there. So this video on my screen is they did a 360 shoot in the midst of their new light show demo. Somebody said that the latest honey scandal had something to do with Elon, and I said, well, I think they existed before PayPal bought them. Andy Sly finally got himself a new car, and I joked with him about how he could stop his trepidation about whether he's going to buy the car or not, which was getting old. He was really getting into it, and I was like, dude, if I click on one more video and it's like, I don't know, should I buy the car? I was considering not watching very many more until I saw a different car in the picture. Somebody else agreed with me on that one. Andy either didn't see it or didn't find it funny. I pointed out that I was just playing with him in the same tweet, so hopefully he didn't take it the wrong way. population collapse. Cybertruck in black. Men being weird. May Musk got herself a Starship heat tile, or what did she get? Heat shield, yeah, heat shield tile. And somebody's wife said bad things about him. He thought it was funny. Questioning if you'd get an X phone. Depends on what they offered. Politics. Come on, start scrolling again. There you go, keep scrolling. Kit Kats. Man babies. There was a video on ants doing some problem solving that got copyright struck on X. Hopefully you saw it in time. Alexa's over in Ukraine. Questions about Joe mode. So this one was one that kind of got me. I'll share that too. It was on the 26th. Where I've seen people complain about Tesla suspension, and I don't believe that they have done a thorough sampling. So I've seen a small handful of people write off Tesla's entire fleet suspension. 2 models and their variations stand apart from anything else that the company has produced, leaving me wondering, what are they driving? Did they try all the models, or at least both types, air and sprung? I'd love to try what they say is substantially better. So whatever they're complaining from, I'd like to see. And there was a variation on this tweet where I've heard people say right off the entire fleet. I'm wondering if they were in clouds or race cars before, or if they drove one or two models, and then wrote off all 5 dramatically. I've had a chance to take extended test drives, or extended time with the 2021 Model 3, and oh boy, did the suspension on most Model S and X spoil me. A sticker? Did you use the potty?
No, I like to have teeth.
Oh, you brush your teeth. Alright, so we get a flower sticker for that. You want a flower sticker?
No.
Spider-Man stickers for using the potty.
Yeah.
The blue flower? There you go.
Oh, hey.
Okay. Yes, I had extended time with the 2021 Model 3, and oh boy, did the suspension on most Model S and our Model X spoil me. I've heard the new Model 3 Highland is better. I've heard, haven't tried. Model S, P85, sorry, the Model S Plus, the P85 Plus and the P90, not D, but the P90 Plus, felt different. No, you can't have a P90D Plus. That wasn't offered. But it was likely due to staggered tires. Meanwhile, the Raven suspension and Plaid suspension feel a little bit different than or a little bit better than ours, and the sprung Model S was noticeably different feel, but it wasn't at all like whatever was going on with the 2021 and 2022 Model 3s that we borrowed. I haven't personally driven the Semi. I also haven't heard any complaints about its suspension from anyone who has. I suspect this is because most comparisons are against diesel monsters. And though I am curious how it stacks up against Cybertruck, and hopefully Cybercab feels more like its air ride brethren than those older Model 3s. So, if you have a Model 3 and like it, I'm not pooping on it. I'm just saying I was spoiled by something else. Now that I have become something of a Tesla suspension connoisseur, I need to take an extended trip in the Model Y before and after its refresh, as well to see if I can get my hands on, a launch Model Y, since it changed from there as well. If anybody wants to let me drive your car for a couple hours, or just ride in it for a couple hours and see how the Model Y, all three Model Y suspensions do. And same for the Highland Model 3. I don't need to drive it, I can just sit in the passenger seat and feel if it feels like that Model 3 did. But that wasn't what we were looking for. We were looking for cybersecurity, so let's keep going. Friend getting surgery. We looked at the Not a Tesla app. Elon threw up on both sides, and I gristled, but it was actually a really good both sides, because it was true, rather than a logical fallacy. Model X has a particular problem because the washer is integrated into the blade. So this one, I don't know if the Plaid is different, but the Plaid generation, I should say, on the Legacy X, the washer nozzle is integrated directly into the blade, not just jetting from under the hood or from the back of the wiper arm. Thankfully, it's always been in stock when I ordered it or had a service. Brian says, I've been sporadically trying to order replacement blades for Model S for about a year, and they're never in stock. What in the world? I ended up buying a set from Safelite about 6 months ago, but I couldn't get them from Tesla, and they're terrible. Auto parts stores don't sell wiper blades for Tesla. How can Tesla stay out of stock of such a necessary and simple part? Chad says it's not integrated into the blade, it's part of the arm. I said, not on Legacy. There's a tube and little cuts in the blade. I'd go snap a pic right now if it wasn't 46 degrees, raining, and dark. Alright, now it's just 60 degrees and raining. I'll have to remember to go out and take a picture. On Model 3, it's on the arm, as I pointed out above, making it possible to change out. Old S is under the hood, but I think it got back of the arm treatment as well. Speed boost. That's coming about AI and Microsoft. More people suggesting my children are chatting. Swift on security and some funny stuff. Somebody shared a picture of a V4 supercharger, like a real one, and I got excited, but they just used Tesla's photo and dashed my hopes. Somebody asked if the DMV could be a mobile app, and I suggested that, yes, actually they could. Oh, yeah, MDR said that. It's Tesla adjacent. Musk is up. Why not both? What? Oh, nukes and solar, nukes and renewable. OpenAI. Alpha males. People don't realize what the study actually means. For all the basic functions that could work, this is a response to MDR about whether the DMV could be an app. For all the basic functions that could work, for more advanced stuff, where either they've taken over for other government functions, or USPS local offices have taken over for them, that can get complicated. But you can reduce staffing lines and costs if done well, and one general line for, hey, the app couldn't answer this question to do this procedure, or I need 50 of them. Though if going from scratch, they should have a single transaction and bulk fleet native. So basically, if I needed to register 50 cars for my company or dealership or whatever, then if you've gone app for your DMV, then there should be a way to handle the bulk in addition to the onesie-twosie on the app. And a website for people who don't want to mess with the smart stuff when they're at home. Moon landing. Block lists. Lifestyle inflation. Something I learned is that you could put underscores in C# to make your numbers more readable as like a separator that the system won't choke on. Somebody thinks they're cool with a loud exhaust. Joe Tegmeyer's sister Patty got a Model Y. First car in 20 years. Community notes. Jeremy Judkins says that he would like for the Sentry Mode / dashcam footage to include whether autopilot is on or not during the footage, like as an overlay, like burn it in. I think that'd be cool. Especially if it looks anything like Green the Only's posts, where he's got the steering angle, the braking, the steering angle, the braking, the speed, whether autopilot was on or off. I like the way that Green does that, and if Tesla could do something similar, if they did an overlay, that'd be awesome. The anti-electric people, I said it was crabs in a bucket. Elon and crew in the early Roadster. Joe mode. Back to the wiper blades again. I will have to go before it's dark and check out the wiper blades now that it's not too cold. Account reputation. Controversy over checkmarks on X. I made a Bambi reference to one of the Trump children. I say children. They're grown ass men. The X algorithm. Realizations about the division symbol. Talked to Green the Only about the legacy towing. We talked about that. Elon single trackingness. Multiplanetary options. A meme that suggested it could be better. Box checking. Microsoft sign-ins. So human.tesla.com is a domain, and people are questioning about that, and I suggested that it is probably an HR URL. Ladies' Night has caused a restaurant in San Francisco to close, and somebody suggested that kids eat free, better watch out. And I said, yeah, at less than 40, they aren't even a protected class for age discrimination. Whereas the folks pointed out in the video that closed the restaurant are very likely to in the over 40 group, so they could definitely sue for kids eat free to close down a restaurant. Some guy selling a Tesla UMC for $500 when you could get a Tesla wall connector, universal, for less than that. Spotted Model noticed that you can press on iOS, you can press to preview the notifications, press to preview your Sentry Mode videos now. And I pointed out that yes, that's new with the holiday updates. Our friend Georgia pointed out that this guy was giving backhanded praise. And talked about stolen artifacts from museums. Constructive criticism of Elon Musk's... Somebody was saying that Elon's been consistent, and they went back 1 year, and I said my constructive criticism would be to go back further. It would only help your case. He has been pretty consistent on the topic at hand. A reminder about the amperage ampacity on the Kia Hyundai NACS adapters. The Volt. The Volt was the inside DVs is reminiscing on the Volt, which is a solid car. And then we talked about how Spotted Model said that somebody named Jim doesn't know how much Tesla costs. He had them all starting at 80,000, like starting, and that's not the case. Here's the tweet I was looking for this whole time from December 27th, talking about the VW cybersecurity incident here. And James does this thing where he goes back through his tweets. I guess I could do that, but he goes through all his likes, and I can't do that. But I could go through my tweets themselves if I were more careful about what I tweet. So, yikes. Do not trust your personal information with legacy automakers who have no clue what they're doing when it comes to software. Trust Silicon Valley instead. All Tesla data is end-to-end encrypted. Now. So he was quoting Sawyer quoting the car ID situation over at Volkswagen. I guess I was too. It's the same post that we just looked at from Sawyer before we went into the article from Motor One. So I said, remember when Tesla brought in Christian Paget from Apple, and she basically halted production until everything was signed and end-to-end encrypted. That kind of dedication is what the whole industry needs, even 10 years later. And then I see Tahim Hussein says, that's bold, kind of like holding a cash making machine, holding a cash making machine before everything is set up. Yeah, kind of like that. I think it'd be, if he's talking about ATMs or mints, either one, it wouldn't make sense to have a full ATM sitting at your facility before you're ready to take customers, and in the mint, you don't want to put in the printing press with the plates before the rest of the building is up. Yeah, I agree. Do I want to mess with any more tweets? So Cybertruck was saying that imagine it's 2025 and you're still thinking about Cybertruck instead of having one in your driveway. And I said, we'd like to do that, but we can't. Not yet. Somebody lying about immigration. I kind of called them on it subtly. Georgia showed us a house that had a introvert room, but she said if the lock's not on your side of the door, you have a dungeon. And yes, that's exactly how it looked. Software updates 2024.45.32 is rolling out now, so more of you will be able to test out the towing situation. Please. Parsa says, is this inclusive of Hardware 3 cars? And I replied with a haha no meme. I could be wrong, but it just felt right to put that meme in there. There's another one in there that I talked about as I was scrolling past that I didn't bother to put in the notes. And I'm looking for it and not seeing it. But it was relevant. Talking about how IMC that Elon likes to retweet doesn't know math. Okay, so the HR at Tesla link, humans at Tesla, which is likely the HR. So this one is not in there. Folks are complaining about loyalty with Tesla. Tesla, from yesterday through the end of the year, if you get a Cybertruck Foundation you will get the option for having free supercharging for life. Your life of the ownership of the vehicle. Very much like my Model X. Excuse me, like my Model X. But you will not be able to get the power share vouchers. And folks are complaining that they can't get it because they already got their Cybertruck last year. So I didn't want to get into that argument. The point of it was, for me, in addition to all the various incentives, lifetime supercharging is available not just on Model S, but also on Foundation Series Cybertruck from inventory. So if you wanted a Cybertruck, there you go. And this one was kind of cool. Let's go ahead and share it. I don't think I put it in there either. We're towards the bottom of the notebook, so I don't feel so bad about going off track. So this is from the Office of Nuclear Energy, the U.S. Department of Energy. They've got a new rail car developed by US DOE. Designed to safely transport spent nuclear fuel and high radioactive materials. The train consists of 2 locomotives, 2 buffer rail cars, escort vehicle, and 1 or more of these high-tech rail cars known as an Atlas. A 12-axle rail car can transport loads weighing up to 480,000 tons or pounds, and meets the most rigorous testing standards set by the American Association of Railroads. All rail cars are equipped with high-tech sensors and monitoring systems that provide performance data in near real time to detect equipment malfunctions and before an incident can occur. And there it is. And then I pointed out, and it's cleared to operate on all U.S. major freight railroads in the United States to eventually transport commercially spent nuclear fuel and high-level radioactive wastes to future federal storage and disposal facilities. Learn more at energy.gov/NE. November Echo. So I said Echo Boost, meaning an office and sleeping and dining for the crew. Yes? Question mark. And a bunch of other people were tweeting on it. So what's the type of security measures considered when transporting spent fuel? Is SOCOM part of the planning? Since whatever is causing her to scream like that is not going to stop, we'll just close the door. And we're back. Okay, so what else did we have in here? I remember we used to go to the hardware store and they would cut a blade for you to fit wiper blades. Yes, absolutely. I think they can still do that, but mostly they're just kind of pre-cut nowadays. Walmart joins the semi-testing program. Well, I've got a text message from somebody. Is it related to this? No. Not even close. Alright, copy link, paste and go. Alright, so I said, and it uses like 10 Model 3 OY packs. Walmart joins the Tesla semi-testing program. Finally, they get 2 trucks. Tavian says, I wonder why it takes so long to test these, to test semi, compared to the other Tesla products. Charlie Richmond says, extremely important that all the bugs are worked out, or the publicity would be very negative, which is true. And it uses about 10 Model Ys worth of batteries. And you don't have a factory for the for the semi-truck just yet. It's almost done, but it's not done yet. Keep going. the controversy over Mark Benton and the scroll is reversed again. Mark Benton and the FSD pricing situation a couple years ago, and I pointed out that while he did campaign against the price reduction, he did not take advantage of the lower price. And this one was big. This one was a FSD save. I don't know if it was on FSD or if it was just the automated features. That's important. I like having a wingman. A wingman shared the seat with me. 8 eyes, never getting tired, watching out. Bearded Tesla had Tesla FSD, not just some gimmick. It will save lives. The technology is important for reasons other than convenience. Last night I was again saved by FSD, seeing a hazard I did not see coming. Forget the noise. This software is doing incredible things today. So this truck was in the guy's blind spot on his Cybertruck, because just like the Model X, there's a giant A-pillar. Not just Model X and Cybertruck, but also other modern vehicles built to crash standards. Like my 13 and 12 Volts, for instance, they had very thick A-pillars for such small cars, because they were built for the crash standards. And so you couldn't see this truck. It was running the light, and the car did, and it slammed brakes at the last second. It's like, oh, my owner is a dumb butt. Didn't see that. Let me slam the brakes. And it did. Let's see. I think there was some discussion on it. It could be me, but it seems the car could have reacted sooner. Glad it stopped, but it was clearly in a predictable trajectory. Bearded says, all I know is the car was in my A-pillar blind spot, so the car saw it way before I did. For sure, but I'd love to have Tesla 3D recreation of the scene so we could better understand what it sees and the logic it's applying. Now, that'd be cool if they'd put that in the dash cam. Let's see. I think there was more, but I didn't see it. So, in that same vein of just wild saves. She wants to open the door now. Pushed it closed, so if she wanted to, she could just push on it. Oh, there she is. Hi, baby. So this one's got some music to it, so I'm not making it any bigger. I said, yeah, I need to change the clothes after that. And he managed to save that dump truck. It was quite a mess. Look at that. Look at this. Just got the wheels off the ground, almost hit the fuel truck or milk truck, whichever. I think it's the fuel truck. Didn't hit the house or any of the trees. Managed to get it back under control. Cement is a concrete truck, not a cement truck, a concrete truck. And it managed to just, nobody got hurt. Alright, and then folks are discussing whether or not free supercharging for life actually does them anything. For the guy in question, it would maybe save him $60 a year with lifetime free supercharging. So if I own the truck for 15 years, it's only $900 of free supercharging. But 99% of my charging is done at home. So adding this perk to the Foundation Series Cybertruck while removing the 2500 power share is not good for him. And I pointed out that at 15.52 megawatt hours tracked in just my car, and I say tracked because there's charging that was done offline for various reasons. And then you add in all the Tesla loaners, rentals, and extended test drives, as well as probably another 16 to 18 megawatt hours for those, plus double that for my previous car, which is around 30 to 40 megawatt hours total. And yes, free supercharging for life does make a difference for me, and then especially on something like the Cybertruck. I just can't order and pick one up right now. Again, the baby likes to eat. And I don't want to lose this house. I'd sell it, but I don't want to lose it. Then Mark explains what happened with his FSD situation. Somebody suggested something that would be fraud. I did the eyes icon.
What?
What's that, baby? Oh, your Jeep crashed.
Yeah.
So some folks are saying, well, why not just switch up to the Cyber Beast with this new Foundation in stock issue? And he says, I imagine it would tow better, yeah? And I said, no, not according to the manual. It has slightly less payload and towing capacities. And then, Legacy S owner here agrees, our systems can't even do the weather versus the new Model 3 Intel. And this is what I was talking about with copy link, paste and go, about the arbitrary cutoffs. Because even the Intel Model 3 couldn't do the weather just a few weeks ago, and now it can. And it really feels like Tesla's pushing us to do upgrades. Tesla treats your earliest supporters so well. Haha. Make sure to buy a Tesla as early as you can. It's like Patrick and Mark and I keep saying, get the one that does what you want today while you can, because the price will change, the features will change, and yes, they will do something that somebody in the future will.
I'm waiting for car.
You're waiting to fix the car?
I'm waiting you fixing car.
You waiting for me to fix your car?
Yeah.
What did you do to your car?
Boyfriend car.
You broke the seatbelt?
No.
There will be better deals after, but the question is, does the car change in a way that you don't care for? Like these folks that needed the power share. That's gone. But folks like me who need the power, supercharging for life, or could really benefit from it, I should say, not saying need. I'm not in a position to buy a car right now, but this would have been perfect. I'd drive or fly out to the nearest service center that's got one and bring it home today. So Legacy S owner here agrees. Our systems can't even do the weather radar versus the Model 3 Intel. Despite the insistence that the only differences in our compute are air cooling, screen orientation, but no remote sentry view for unstated reasons. And he says, it's an arbitrary decision, angry faces. I agree. Wow, that's a giant mouse icon. Oh, it's broken again. I'm scrolling down, it's scrolling up. I guess it's time to restart the computer the way it's acting like this before I start my homework project. Turn it off. Turn it on. Scroll it. Yes. Alright, let's copy this link. This link. I mean, that other link was kind of cool, but it's not what we're going to talk about today. Whoa. It went somewhere I wasn't trying to go. I guess back. Yeah, it went back. No. Maybe there's a refresh? Because there's still my replies. Let me scroll again. This stupid backward scroll. While I wait for it to load that section, let's fix the scroll again. Mac is getting quite aggressive with this. I don't want your stupid scroll, Mac. Your scroll is just ridiculous. It's backwards. Oh yeah, okay, we weren't too far off. So, the first time I saw this in person was on this last trip that we took, where we had... You're scared of Maribel? We'll put her clothes on and you won't be scared of her.
What?
She calls Maribel Shona.
Daddy, help me.
I'm gonna pick her up.
Help me, Daddy.
Okay.
I had the Shona. I had the Shona.
You colored on Maribel? I know. You got her looking like a prison tats.
What?
Prison tattoos. It's when you go to jail to look more tough. People give tattoos to make them look more tough. And so your Maribel looks like some kind of gangster. Put my mouse down. Let go. Alright. She's wearing her dress now. Yeah, so face tattoos. Excuse me. Who knows what happened to her glasses? She as a early 2-year-old, she kept stealing the doll's glasses. Oh, the mouse is over here now. So we saw this first couple times on this last trip of the driving, where it actually looked like smoke coming out from under the hood of a Model 3 or a Model Y. I've seen it in the past where it looked like steam coming out from under the hood, and by steam I mean like when you're cooking on the stove. It's just like a certain look to it versus okay, versus where this looks like some paper or wood is burning under the hood of the Model. Next, you got the 3Y Cybertruck and the new S and X with the heat pump. You scared of the robot? Smoke detector is not going to get you. It's going to let you know if there's a fire or smoke.
I'm scared.
And it's got a night light. It's watching you.
What?
It's making sure you're safe. It's a safe robot. It can't move.
Why are you scared? Why am I?
You want me to turn on the light? Okay, I'll turn on the light. You know what? Let me do it from the phone. It's gonna be faster than trying to wake this computer up. It's already mad at me.
There was here.
Let's see what? There, light's on for you. Look.
What?
The light's on.
Us?
All right, so yeah, so that was the difference between that they're both steam, but the way that it looks, I can see why some folks might think that their car is on fire, especially if it's right after any of the media nonsense for just these car fires that happen. Whether they're Tesla or combustion or anybody's car catching fire. Oh my, unless your electric car is gonna catch fire, you're gonna die. Amtrak had some issues. Tipping culture gone just crazy. This lady murdered somebody over a $2 tip. And a little PSA right here. I should put more in the notebook, but I don't. So I said they just put that in with the update before the Apple Watch stuff. So Chris was out there charging, said vent pin, I couldn't charge here. If they ask for a survey after this charge, I'll report it. Then he later did report it, regardless of whether they asked him or not. 2 weeks Lowell says Tesla needs to implement a better mechanism to report damaged chargers. The app knows what location you charge at and are currently visiting if you use the route planner. If you should have an option in the app to select the posts that are damaged and report a site-wide issue. And I said, yeah, they just did that. But like it was days, so I get if somebody's not up on it. And then my scroll reversed again. I'm just gonna leave it backwards and hope I don't forget. There's a camel in a car for some reason. Fred's pointing out that Elon is tweeting from a weird place. This one was kind of cool. Totally unrelated. But it's nuclear power, so it's tangential, I guess. Nuclear power. I thought it was pretty cool. Turn on and off the scroll reverser. So basically, to practice with their new hotbox, they decorated a tree with the arms, some remote manipulator arms. Back in the 50s, 60s. I thought that was pretty cool. 1959. Stuff is flipping and clicking. Hopefully I didn't just lose you guys. Oh, there it is. It went to the back for some reason, some unknown reason. Some folks talking about Hardware 3. That is not a case where Tesla is arbitrarily trying to force you to upgrade instead of, reduce, reuse, recycle, extend. This is a case of actually a compute issue. So, backward scroll yet again, even though I just fixed it. So Chris said Tesla treats their early supporters so well. You should buy cars with as you can. Kevin Tesla says, LAMO, sure, FSD owner with Hardware 3. And I said, I bought mine with Hardware 2.5. The difference with this transition to AI 4 is that they had the upgrade path ready as soon as the code diverged on Hardware 3. Instead of running into a wall and trying to optimize their way out. Musk promised a hardware rev if needed. It looks like it's needed here. But they are still trying to make it work with code. My upgrade was installed in the winter of 2019. Maybe the new one will be customer ready by spring or summer. Maybe. That's going to depend on if they need new silicon or not. If they need new silicon, I go on to say, could they get it done faster with proper power conditioning and refactoring of the board? Question mark, yeah. If they use the same chips, I could see it being possibly the end of Q1 with a huge push. But they'll need air-cooled versions for legacy owners and liquid-cooled ones for everyone else. Perhaps if the current boards hadn't required 16 or 48 volts, had been designed to fit into the hole for the liquid-cooled Hardware 3, and just blocked upgrades by policy, this would have been as easy as unblocking the upgrades for most of the fleet. I'm going to turn off my camera again and go fix my door so that my daughter isn't screaming in your ears so badly. She had a baby doll playpen blocking the door the first time. I noticed she put it right back where it was this time. There we go. So, yes, they could have handled this better had they had some forethought into what Hardware 3 and 4 could do. If entirely new chips are required, this upgrade will likely skip straight to AI 5, assuming that bulk production hasn't already started. If it hasn't, it might not be as big a speed bump to incorporate some sort of coprocessor into the package. Into the coprocessor and package them together as one chip. But if AI 3 is already under bulk production, AI 5, then they're going to have to skip to AI 6 or find a way to make AI 5 fit on the older boards. They painted themselves into a corner with this one. Alright, let's see. What else have I got for tweets that I didn't put into the notes? Which way are we scrolling this time? Scrolling down, scroll up, whatever. We talked about electrochromatic glass on the VWs. And I said I'd like it on my house. Brian and I, our cars don't know what night is. Paste and go. So Sawyer says, I believe if Musk had ever driven on different highways in China, deep into the night, he's quoting right now, he's quoting the guy from, I guess, Xpeng, he would have chosen to keep a LiDAR in the front as well. And we never had LiDAR in the front, we had radar. Li Zhang, founder and chairman of Li Auto, said, China is different from the US if you regularly drive at night, blah, 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 broken taillights, etc. Doesn't matter. I said, multiple cameras blocked or blinded. Some FSD features temporarily unavailable. No, goofball, it's called driving at night in the countryside. A regular conversation with my car on FSD version 15.5.4.2. And Futuraza says, my car is similarly unaware of the concept of night. I thought that would go away with version 13, but he's on version 13, so looks like that's not going away anytime soon. I do like the new slowdown in limited visibility feature, but it takes way too long to recover when you are cut off by a semi. The trailer spray ensures that you won't be able to return to a reasonable speed for at least 5 to 10 minutes. If FSD and cruise control don't disable entirely during that duration, it feels too aggressive. But I do like the feature. President Jimmy Carter has just died. Man. He did great work, especially after leaving office, where he did, Habitat for Humanity and was always looking out for what was right. I'm not saying he didn't do that in office, but he was up against a Congress that was dead set in not letting him succeed at anything. And then the previous administration sought to undo everything he did, like stripping the solar panels off of the White House, that sort of thing. Thankfully, unlike what I was taught in school, they were stripped off, but they were not thrown away. They were donated to a university. And sometime during this show, we were talking about how they were down to 73% of their original capacity. And so when they were scheduled to get scrapped, they ended up just moving them to another building because they were still functioning. And they were so historic of items. Because, they started on the White House, and then they got moved to the school, and then they exceeded their design parameters, and so they moved them again. You'll be missed. Godspeed. Rest in power. So what I was referring to on this one was Brandon says this level of integration is great. Out of order stall 3C. Tesla updates iOS says, ooh, must be a post-holiday update thing. I've never seen a banner pop up before. I didn't like it. Or I didn't store my like. They do that. They don't store all my likes. On my Legacy, we had it during a 40-hour road trip after getting the holiday update on the 10th. It was really nice, and we needed it 4 times. It only popped up 3 times. The last time, the stall had cones, tape, and the light was off. So maybe they didn't want the duplication. Basically, there was no way you could use the stall they were going to say not to use, so they didn't pop anything up. If you guys got any Jimmy Carter stories, like just fond ones, just pop them in the chat. I'd like to see what you guys' experience was with him. Some folks with the Cybertruck mirror replacement. Ethan points out he's on the track for Twitter X monetization, as I finally am now too. Thankfully, you guys have been following me, so it's possible. But I need 4.5 million impressions, and so he's the opposite of me. He needs 0.5 million engagements to get his monetization. This one was really cool, and I definitely didn't put it in there. I don't think. If I did, we'll skip it when we get to it. I guess every time I post, I'll have to put it in the notes now if it's relevant, so I can skip this situation next time. So I said, this is awesome, especially for safety. When I sold cars and people complained about defogging or defrosting or the HVAC performance, most of the time I'd find that their climate control was set to manual instead of auto. I was selling cars with the new generation auto climate control. So there was no need to adjust the fan speed and how hot and how cold, because you were just going to do a worse job than the computer could do, because you're there to drive, and it has one job. Their climate was set to manual instead of auto, and I told them at delivery, except for the one guy with the damaged heater core, and on my second volt, the heater wasn't plugged in. The high voltage cable was just kind of like not clicked in all the way, and so I couldn't get heat. So what we're referring to is, I haven't had a message pop up before. Is it new? High chance of fogging. Climate control set to auto to ensure visibility. And he says why he turned it down, but it doesn't really matter. He turned it down, forgot to turn it back up, and the car took care of it. Richard pointed out on my comment about the cameras being blocked or blinded. He says, "Wow, I thought my cameras were really blocked or something, and the map data is horrendous. I don't know anymore. FSD just makes turns at night or doesn't want to do them, but it sucks." I said, "Yeah, the only time I found that remotely close to anything but the car being afraid of the dark was when it had little water droplets clinging to the lenses." Elon tweeting stuff on purpose. The camel in the car. Somebody was pointing out that you can mute words, and they muted the word Elmo. And I thought it'd be funny to put a Elmo on the potty GIF, whatever. And it was just a comment suggesting that be careful about casting too wide of a net. If you're missing out some wholesome comments. Another one. Ugh. Oh, now I can't scroll at all? Come on. Copy link. Paste and go. Robert says the 4,000 hours of YouTube videos. Yes, that's another one that was really difficult to do, and I thank all of you guys for doing for me. So this one gave me flashbacks, except that AP1 didn't have much leeway with the steering, and we were rammed multiple times with our Model S. But the lightning pedal and dual motors limited the destruction. I'm glad we didn't take the Volt that day, or we might not be here today. FSD steers away from a major semi-crash and saves lives. And if you see the caption there, you can see why I said anything about the dual motors at all. Yeah, so I would love to tell you guys more about this, but it's still not done. Still not done. So then I go on to say, hopefully everything will wrap up soon. Over 6 years since the incident, and I can finally fully rehabilitate my back. They did enough to get me back to work and to handle chores, paper. But the recovery time after even simple tasks is ridiculous. 30 minutes to clean a washing machine filter, 3 days to mow a starter house postage stamp yard. That one's not 3 days of recovery, but it takes me 3 days to do it. And this desk table computer situation right here, if I add water to the reservoir, I gotta sit down for 30 minutes after adding the water to it. And we're talking like 8 ounces of water. I think it's like a 2.5 liter system, so thankfully I didn't have to do the whole thing. But yeah, I cannot wait for this to get done so I can go get my back fixed. Tesla Joy's grandmother has passed as well. If you want to give her some condolences. Somebody complaining about a kid wanting a pink backpack. Some other person suggesting my daughters are chattel. Jeremy ran a poll where he said, if you owned a Tesla Cybertruck, which would you rather have, the $2,500 shop voucher or free supercharging? And, excuse me, the results came out for free supercharging 70%. There were more in between. Joe says that everyone's going to say free supercharging because it's the new shiny thing. And I said it because I have it now, and I got a mild shock that last loaner, when that last loaner said how much charging costs. Way less than gas, but again, as somebody who has not had to pay to travel in the last 6 years, No, longer. Because remember, I had the Model S before that. So somebody who hasn't had to pay to travel in pushing 10 years, it was a shock. I say pay to travel, pay for fuel to travel. Because obviously on this last trip I spent like $150 in tolls. Gotta live in Jersey, New York, man. They keep raising them rates. Delaware too, but they're not as bad as those two. That's how my 2.5 to 3 went, but the boards existed at that point. Holmars was excited about 12.6 for AI3. Some more replies in between. William Dean says Tesla replaced my HP battery on the 30th, maybe or will in tomorrow. Replace his HP battery. Maybe they'll upgrade me to AI4. Lol, no. So that's how my 2.5 to 3 went, but the boards actually existed then. Spotted Model needs some subscribers on YouTube. Spotted Model also got he was shooting a photo, and the police came and flashed lights at him for his for his Cybertruck against a mural. I'd say, what'd they say? Move along, citizen. And then he said that they just flashed lights and drove by. Again with the kid with the pink backpack. Keep your head on a swivel, citizen, and don't be here when I come back. StarCraft. Painted nails. The homogeneity of the human species. Somebody suggested why it hasn't happened already, and I said, well, it used to take over a month to get from London to China. Soon enough, with Earth-to-Earth rockets, we're looking at 90 minutes max to get anywhere on Earth. So it was a bit of a barriers problem. We're about 26 hours away max for most of the population centers today with today's plane routes. And we've already started to see that. Like the melting pot has melted more. Nightmare fuel for you guys. Take a look at this coming from John. I had to see it. You'll see it too. And then I think we're basically caught up. Yeah, we're basically caught up because everything else is stuff that we tweeted here on the show today. Yeah, so nightmare fuel. Would you do this to your Tesla? Monaco is trying to do that to the back, her little section of the Model X, and I do not appreciate it. Other folks pointed out that with all the rhinestones on the steering wheel, this guy's got himself a bit of a meat grinder for an airbag. Oh my. He doesn't do it because he wants to, but because he's terrified of being alone. The driver did not pay for this car. This is an enabling parent or two at fault here. I don't think this is a child here. I think it's his girlfriend. But it could be a child. Like a teen. Oh, there we go. They said Claymore is what they said. Claymore, not meat grinder. No, as a matter of fact, now no one's getting in. People ruin it for everyone. LAMO. The car saving. Oh, hell no. All right, let's get back on track because, like I said, we were almost through with what I had selected for this week. This is a bit of an update on a supercharger that we looked at a few weeks ago. It's now open and ready to go. This one in Spain, where they converted an old gas station into a supercharger site. Tesla Europe did it again. They transformed an old gas station into a new V4 supercharger. It's really a V3 Plus. And this one located in Cordoba, Spain. Tesla did this once before, and it seems they will keep transforming old gas stations in the future with new V4 superchargers. What an incredibly inventive way of transforming the old to the new. Congratulations, Tesla Europe and Tesla Spain. The station now has 8 stalls, 20 kilowatts, and open to all EVs. So 8 stalls would suggest a true V4, but the fact they haven't been doing them yet suggests it's a V4 plus, V3 plus. Sorry. When I see these, I feel at peace knowing we're set for a better future. Exactly. And next up, I would be. Oh, okay. I was about to say I'd be curious if it manages to reverse the scroll 2 different ways in 2 different apps. Oh, now I get no scrolls. Waiting on the notebook to catch up with us. This one from Electrek says that Schneider Electric semi-fleet has hit 6 million miles driven. Obviously, they are not running Tesla Semi just yet, since they're not on the short list of companies that have had a chance to try one out. They are running Freightliner. And why it didn't open up the article is beyond me. This one I didn't save, but it's kind of cool. Autonomous electric loaders in North America get to work, so like coal mines and other mines for ores. Continuing on, I'm clicking. 6 million miles driven. What do they have to say for themselves? Just a year after they hit the 1 million mile mark, Schneider National has, and its unmistakably orange trucks have thrown down the gauntlet, adding more than 5 more million miles to their BEV tally card, and crossing the 6 million mile electric mark. The company says its latest all-electric milestone means that Schneider has cut more than 20 million pounds of harmful carbon emissions, and a total it says is equivalent to removing more than 2,100 gas-powered passenger cars from the road. It's impressive. Reaching 6 million mile emissions is a testament to our steadfast dedication to sustainability and innovation, said Schneider President CEO Mark Roque. They operate one of the largest fleets of Freightliner e-Cascadia electric trucks in the country, with fully 92 of the BEVs deployed so far. The trucks have been operating in and around the ports of Southern California. Wow, they did that in just like one port area? That's incredible. Where they have reduced... that makes sense. There's very few corridors for OTR trucking right now for electric. 6 million miles. Congrats to them. And then... we talked about the Isuzu truck a while ago. They are finally delivering, and they've got a fleet of Red Bull as their first customers. So the Isuzu NRR EV gets to work as the electric trucks reach customers. So you may have seen the gas version of this truck run around your town. It's very versatile. So we're looking at, this is the one with the modular battery pack. They're in 20 kilowatt hour modules, and you can have up to 60 kilowatt hours total. So you can have 3 of these modules, and that's the, sorry, 3 is the minimum. You can have up to 60 kilowatt hours total, all the way up to 9 of these packs. So you can have up to 3 to 9, 20 kilowatt hour packs. That's impressive. The 9-pack version is good for 235 miles with a range of 35 miles of range with a 19.5. Sorry, no. With a 19,500 pound gross vehicle weight rating. The batteries, regardless of configuration, send power to 150 kilowatt, 200 horsepower electric motor with 380 foot-pounds of torque, available at 0. For the Red Bull duty, the Isuzu truck ships with 5 of the packs for 100 kilowatt hour capacity, and are fitted to a lightweight all-aluminum 6-bay beverage body. The vehicle's design maintains its cargo capacity, and the NRR EV's 19.5 GVWR Class 5, combined with the lightweight body and big enough battery spec, provides Red Bull's delivery drivers a hefty 9,000 pound payload. So your batteries do take away from your payload. Kind of hope they'd have a way around that, but I guess physics, right? There we go. Congrats to Isuzu and Red Bull. And then we will finish up with Lucid. Lucid has just got themselves an app update. take a look at this. A completely redesigned version of the Lucid mobile app with a brand new interface as enhanced features such as more climate control features, navigation, personalization options, and overall more intuitive experience. And it looks very familiar, doesn't it? This is currently only on iOS. Android's coming real soon. It's probably just the matter of what they have experience with, what they've got on hand for getting the various stores to approve stuff. Oh, they've already got their iOS watch app. Good. There you go. It's beautiful. You download it now for iOS. It's coming soon for Android. For those of you that have a Lucid Air. And oh, you can now name your car. Pick a nickname. Customize your search controls. Yes. So I want to thank all of you guys for your time today. I want to thank you for your monetary contributions for our channel members and our folks giving us donations. And like Marcus there with the EV Smoke and High Voltage Performance and EV Racing Team. And of course Anders and Dawood and Timothy and everybody else with the memberships. Appreciate that. Again, if you have any fond memories of former President Jimmy Carter, I'd like to see them. And we'll catch you next week for a chat with Kacey and friends. On Monday, we've got the Tesla Life Express Part 2. And on Wednesday, early, because it's New Year's Day, we'll have New Year's Eve? New Year holiday. We'll have the Tesla Life Express early on Wednesday than our usual 7 p.m. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you very much.